going on? I am Nando.
And I'm DJ. I'm DJ. Same DJ. I'm DJ.
And I'm Diggins?
Yeah.
I don't know what DJ's doing.
Is that the Ox?
Dustin Hoffman.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Kinda.
His
It was
voice
more-
is.
It was more
terrible.
like Christian Bale in a hypothetical fourth Dark Knight movie.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the worst intro I've ever done? Did we get there?
No, the worst intro you've ever done is when you said I'm Diggins.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Oh,
that's
God.
definitely like the most interesting intro. But this is the most perplexing, I guess.
Okay.
But I would say part of it is the fault of the movie and how many just like weird little cameos it had that you're like, is that somebody? And we'll get to it.
I broke Diggins though, which I feel bad about.
Well,
You didn't
Diggins,
break me. I was just confused.
we can talk about, well, to unbreak Diggins, we'll talk about Diggins' favorite night in television, the Oscars, you guys.
Whoa,
That's right.
he loves
Is this
it
your
so
favorite night in
much.
television, Diggins? Probably.
Well, it is when I get to see John Cena's hog.
But you didn't get to see.
Yeah.
Well, did you? Did you pay for the extra?
Yeah, I paid
The
to not
unrated
have the
version.
censor bar. You
Yeah.
get to see the full hog.
Oh man, that was quite a thing. Did you see what he actually had on? That's pretty exciting.
I didn't see it. I imagined it was some kind of little Speedo or something.
It was weird. So it didn't cover his hips. It went from front, under, and then behind. So he looked like a Ken doll. And it was a big plasticky blob kind of thing. There were some pictures
That
from
is
behind the
exciting.
scenes. I'm sure I can find one.
How do we know that that's not just what he is?
I don't know. Well, I mean, we've definitely seen his butt before in
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
want to say, what was the one? The train wreck, right? I think he was.
Yeah, I
So
think
his butt in
so.
that one. So
I think you're right.
yeah. But yeah, let's talk about the Oscars. What are an Oscars? Did you guys both watch it?
Yes.
I did.
I saw clips. I think I saw
I-
most of the clips that people cared about.
I think that this was one of the more watchable Oscars. It started at a reasonable time and ended at a reasonable time. I thought the bits were mostly good.
There was only one that was like so bad it caused me physical pain to watch.
Which one was that?
Was it Al Pacino?
No, that wasn't a bit. That was just Al Pacino being an old man and forgetting
like-
what he was doing.
Yeah, that's fair. This is a bit for him. What was it? What wait, was it Meghan, not Meghan,
Meghan Markle.
Yeah.
Melissa McCarthy and friend.
And who was her friend? Wow, if you don't know her friend, that means you're racist.
Was it Sandra Bullock?
That would make you racist, yeah.
They're-
if you
they're
don't know
friends.
Sandra Bullock.
Is she Canadian? Maybe that's it.
Who was that?
I didn't see it.
guess
I don't
I'm
know what this
racist.
bit
I
was.
guess I'm
so
racist.
It was Ma's own Octavia Spencer.
Oh,
Octavia
sure.
Spencer. I'm racist. Okay.
Yeah, I guess
Yep.
she's got very similar energy to you said it was Melissa McCarthy was the other?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see them hanging out.
Yeah, well, they had the worst bit of the night. It was truly excruciating.
What
Oh, I
was
got it right. That was the one that cringed you. Nice.
Yeah, it was really, really bad, TJ.
What was it? Describe it to me.
The idea was because they were presenting for best screenplay, the 2 screenplay awards.
Mm-hmm.
So they were like, writing is important. And so they did this kind of like quasi improv bit where they like went on a riff about like improvising and how writing makes things good and cool. And it's just like they just didn't seem like they had any idea what they were doing or that if they were supposed to be funny or not. And it was just terrible.
I see.
Yeah, I get that. Was that so that was the worst bit? What was the best bit?
John Cena naked.
Was it better than the Batman guys? That was pretty good. I like that.
I mean, I didn't get to see. If I got to see Danny DeVito's hog, then I might be singing a different tune. But
What about John Mulaney's bit? John Mulaney's bit was like awesome.
I mean,
That was
John Mulaney's bit was actually quite funny.
That was the best audition for next year's Oscars I've ever seen.
What was he presenting?
Sound.
Okay.
How's this relevant to our podcast? not one, but 2 digs at Madam Web.
I'm surprised it was just that many, because like that movie's pretty popular now for being bad, including all the people in it. So why wouldn't the people that aren't in it make fun of it?
It's true. Yeah, it's pretty safe. Pretty safe target.
Yeah, it's
nobody feels too defensive about Madam Web.
When they made that joke, did they ever? Because I didn't watch or maybe I did watch the monologue. Did they cut to any of them? Were like Sydney Sweeney there for that weird rom-com?
I don't think any of them that were there is the problem.
Or if they were, they weren't in a place where they got cut to.
Because they probably would have said something under their breath like Emma Stone, but with more expletiveness, and that would have been pretty funny. Especially, I feel like Dakota Johnson would have said something like pretty inflammatory.
Wait, what did Emma Stone say under her breath?
Oh, she called Jimmy Kimmel a prick.
Yeah, during one of his jokes, she got the camera on her right after, and you could see her say that. I don't remember what the joke was. Or maybe
it was a Poor Things joke.
Yeah, it was the one where he's just like, Poor Things, there's a lot of sex in it. That was like the content of the joke. I don't remember what the presentation was, but the presentation was also boring. Like, it was not an interesting joke.
In defense of Kimmel, that's a hard gig, and I think he did like a pretty good job.
I don't think it's that hard. Like, I feel like they make the worst jokes. They're just so not funny. Like, people have made funny jokes about those movies. You know, especially like Poor Things. It's not like if it was all Zone of Interest, I'd be like, all right, good luck, Kimmel. But these are some of the silliest movies that have been nominated for Best Picture. But I mean, he did make a Zone of Interest joke that also didn't work. So who am I to judge?
I thought the Trump bit was good.
I heard about the Trump bit. What was the Trump bit?
So Trump like truthed about how he sucked like during the show. So Kimmel like during the show read the truth about how much Kimmel sucks. It was pretty funny. Like that was actually a good bit.
Yeah. That's
I mean, it was a good bit because the way he played it was like, this is how he chooses to spend his time. That's incredible.
But also because he buried the lead real well, where it's like we got some reviews in, and he just like reads the whole thing, and then it's not apparent.
It becomes pretty quickly apparent who wrote it.
Well, not so the Make America Great Again, or did George Slopinopoulos give it away?
Yeah, there's a specific cadence and like style that gave it away like a third in. I was like, oh, I know who this is.
Yeah.
I guess Slopinopoulos is a bit of a giveaway.
Do you think they could have like, God, which one of them would have been there? I guess Alec Baldwin would have been there. Could I just Alec Baldwin, get up here real quick. I need you to read this for us.
Alec Baldwin's too busy for his murder trial.
Yeah, that's true. Well, let's get it in while we can then, you know? Like, listen, I don't know what's going on with him. I know the prop manager or something just got in trouble. So it probably doesn't look amazing for him, but not in jail yet. Plus he's rich, so he'll probably be fine.
So no worries.
Yeah.
Hakuna Matata boys.
Were there any other bits or jokes or anything that was like memorable or interesting? Did they shit on animation? I don't remember. They did see that.
Briefly.
Oh, good.
Jimmy Kimmel, when he was presenting Best Animated, was like, hey, show of hands. Who here had their kid fill out this ballot?
That was good.
Is that really what he said?
That's really what he said.
Yeah, okay.
Although when nobody raised their hands, he was like, that's good because you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, that was good.
Animations for kids. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing today, Nando?
Well, we're doing a very kid-focused animation movie that I don't think an adult would enjoy. So I don't think, you know what? I don't think this one's going to get nominated. So I think we'll be okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Haven't the other ones?
Let's see what comes out the rest of the year.
I mean, like, listen, movies that didn't make it, like, I feel like Elemental barely got on the list this year. There can't be, like, this is worse than that for sure. Well, we'll get to it, but like, I don't know. I don't know what else is coming out this year, but like, there's an animated Transformers movie. There's an animated Lord of the Rings movie. Both of those are supposed to be pretty interesting from what I've heard. And then there's probably like some Disney movie or something. Well, I guess that would have been Wish. So
yeah, see, you never know how hard the rest of the group's going to fumble it.
Yeah, That's true. And I guess the Spider-Verse movie definitely isn't coming out this year, even though they haven't or I guess they said it isn't, but they originally it was supposed to.
Real quick before we completely depart the Oscars, were you guys surprised that The Boy and the Heron won?
I guess not, because it won something else already, but I don't think it should have. I don't know.
Not so surprised it wasn't on my Oscars ballot.
Yeah.
Oh, if we're bragging about Oscars ballots, how about me being the only person who got Emma Stone right for Best Actress? How about that?
How much else did you get right? How much else did you get right? DJ?
I was two behind you because, as I mentioned on the last podcast, I went out on a limb and had Poor Things for Best Original Screenplay. I shouldn't have. And I had one other stupid one that was like a bad pick. But otherwise, I would have tied you. So don't give me this. You're so good at Oscars predicting. You're barely better than me, and you had a ton of favorites. I don't want to hear it.
It was Past Lives, first of all, that you picked.
Right,
so
my bad.
You can't even remember. Secondly, by your own admission, even if you had gone with someone else, I still would have beaten you, even without that screenplay pick.
DJ, you gave Past Lives credit? Yeah,
Yes.
Last year was the year where we let non-white people, Asian people win awards. It's not this
Yeah,
year.
Come
I
on.
thought we were
last
doubling
year.
up. I thought we were doubling up, guys.
No.
Okay.
No.
No, we had to. This year, we were even like, guys, we might give Best Actress to someone who's not white, and the Academy was like, that's not allowed.
Mhm.
You can't do
Yeah.
that.
Emma Stone didn't even make the Poor Things. They made it like a week before the deadline. They shot it on a backlot because they were like, we need something. Who's our ringer? Emma Stone. We're gonna make La La Land 2, and she was like, no, I have another idea, and they made Poor Things. So,
I want to be Frankenhore. That's what I want to do. I want to be Frankenhore.
is that a name? Is that what Jimmy Kimmel called it?
It's a movie.
Oh, okay.
Right? Am I getting that right?
That's an existing movie, yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say about the awards?
They're good and you love them?
Yeah, we probably fucked a bunch of them up, but I don't remember which ones were bad. I do think Best Actor, or not Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, I think was the one that bugged me the most.
Well, okay, who would you have had if not everyone's favorite Iron Man?
Any of them but Robert De Niro. I think all three.
Wow.
Ken
You just
was a
hate
better
Roberts.
performance. What's up?
You hate Roberts.
You hate Roberts.
That's true. Yeah, and like Ken was better, Mark Ruffalo was better, and Sterling K. Brown was better. Yeah, and the two people that were the best weren't on the list. The kid from Holdovers, and who was the other one? There was another.
Is
person.
that a supporting performance?
Yeah,
That feels
of
like
course.
a leading.
Well, I mean, if Robert Downey Jr. and Ryan Gosling are supporting performances, then this is totally a supporting performance, right? Like, especially Ryan Gosling.
I think a person could massage it into the supporting category if they wanted to. I feel like if you're being honest with yourself, he's a co-lead with Paul Giamatti.
No, I think I'm sure they submitted him for supporting because I'm sure you can find their best or their for your consideration campaign. Who's the other one that I like better than all of them though? Who else was really good this year? Is there any good movies?
Were there any good movies?
There were many.
I mean, I don't think I would never
You would have
expect them
nominated
to give
Godzilla
Past Lives
from Godzilla -1.
Still haven't seen it. It's the only one of these that doesn't have a home release because this bullshit law with Godzilla vs. Kong or something. I don't know what it is, but that's what I've heard is that kind of screwed up the release of this other Godzilla movie because of some exclusivity in the United States.
You would have nominated the guy from Past Lives who was the same guy in The Big Short. The husband. You would have nominated the husband.
Oh,
from
yeah.
Past Lives.
I guess he would have been no, yeah, I definitely would have nominated him. Although he was fine.
I thought that husband role was quite good in that movie.
Yeah.
Actually,
I wouldn't say it was like amazing, but it was definitely as good as the thing with the Robert Downey Jr. one is it's just like that role was, like all the other Robert Downey Jr. roles. I don't think that role was much better than most of the Iron Mans he's done. And that's not to say I don't think it was good, but it's like, I don't like the Ken performance. We'll be looking back on that 20 years from now and go, wow, that was one of the most memorable performances in movies. And like, who I could have given it to? The kid from Anatomy of a Fall, if we wanted to do one of those.
the dog from Anatomy of a Fall.
The dog from Anatomy of a Fall. Yeah, that one's fun. Iron Claw. I think any of the guys in Iron Claw, the dad or the two brothers, were more interesting than that. Those are the only ones I can see on this list. I'm like, oh, those were Oscar-y movies.
I guess
Oh,
the
and
most.
sorry, I did remember May December. The
God,
boy from that.
Charles Melton
Yeah.
should have been there.
It's insane that they didn't put him on the list.
No, I'm with you all the way there. If Charles Melton was there, I would have been 100% Charles Melton.
But again, whiteness, that was the rules, so I understand.
Was that this year was the white Oscars? Is that what we're going with?
Yeah,
We just call them the Oscars,
people.
DJ, but yes, it was the white Oscars again this year.
Well, Killers didn't win. Oppenheimer won a lot. Poor Things won a lot.
Anything.
Yeah.
Killers won nothing. Nope. Yeah, Killers
Killers is one of the 3 Best Picture nominees that won 0 awards.
I mean, okay, if we're being very cynical and maybe realistic about Downey's win, is he's the most likable of the group who doesn't already have an Oscar, and he campaigned super well, and they were not going to give an Oscar to the guy who played the Ken doll.
Yeah, no,
there's just not in a million years what's going to happen.
That's absolutely what it is. Even though he went to them and did his little song and was amazing, and they just they hate it.
That was a really fun part.
I think the problem with the Robert Downey Jr. thing for me is I think it's just their general hypocrisy of like not nominating and like not giving credit to performances where it's not a guy in makeup pretending to be a guy from history. But Robert Downey Jr. I feel like also could have won for Tropic Thunder, and he didn't. He lost to what's his name?
Yeah,
Heath Ledger. And like I feel like this was almost like, hey, we're sorry about that. We get it. And now Ken has to do a realistic, cool performance of like, what's a historical figure he kind of looks like?
Didn't he already play Neil Armstrong?
Yeah, but it wasn't good.
Yeah.
What's like a good movie that was good? I don't know. I didn't see it, but
I didn't see it either.
Yeah. What's just like a really handsome guy that has a story that's as interesting as any of these musical biopics
JFK.
are? Sure. Whoa, that could be that Oppenheimer sequel we keep talking about.
That's right. Yeah, the one they tease it at the end. You're right. The post-credits scene.
So yeah, in like 8 years or something, because it's got to be a little while. He could win for that, and then somebody else will win for something really funny that we obviously cannot support. But yeah, also Robert Downey Jr., as I've heard, was addicted to drugs, and that's hilarious.
Really? Oh, you don't say.
Yeah, I love that for him.
Where'd you hear that from? They must keep a pretty tight lid on that.
They do a little announcement before the show starts. I think they have this guy come up and just announce a couple of things, and everybody goes in the audience, and it was in that. Yeah, it's the guy from the Man Show. Remember that show where the women jumped on trampolines as part of it? It's that guy.
Because they had big boobies.
Yeah.
And you got to see the big boobies jump up and down.
That was very good. Who's your favorite Oscars host? Do you guys have a favorite one?
I can only remember when people do a bad job. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember Ellen did a really horrible job.
She did the selfie. That was 10 years ago, I think, actually.
Yeah. Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, that was bad.
What about
was that Golden Globes? Ooh, was that Golden Globes?
Yeah, that was Golden Globes.
Yeah.
Was Oscars when Anne Hathaway and James Franco did it as a pair? That was pretty weird.
Was that Oscars or again was that Golden Globes?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's weird? Like I know it seems crazy, but Kimmel might be my favorite host. The rest of them are all terrible and really bad. Like until they get like a John Mulaney or like if like they could get Gerard Carmichael to do it, because that would be so fun, because he could redo his Golden Globe speech from like 2 years ago. Get Joe Coy next year.
Yeah,
I was gonna say Joe Coy was my favorite.
Yeah, I bet he'd kill it.
Yeah, you know what? Because we've also gone through a couple Oscars with no host recently, so it's pretty hard to like find one.
They should let Kevin Hart do it, because he was supposed to do it, but then they dug up those tweets. Let Kevin Hart do it. He might do a decent job.
Like Dave Chappelle told us, that's the greatest crime that has ever been perpetrated against Black people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nothing worse.
Jon Stewart used to host them. Was he any good? Jon Stewart did 2008 and 2006. I cannot remember either.
Oh my gosh, he did?
Yeah.
Oof.
Also, Ellen was 2007 and 2014. Yeah.
Guys, I have the perfect host.
Who?
Ready? He's going to be very available. He's polarizing but lovable by some people. You'll get a whole new crowd in. Aaron Rodgers. Get him to host the Oscars. He'll be great.
See, DJ, you think that's going to be a good idea, but at the first dress rehearsal, he's going to fall down the stairs and break his ankle. And then he can't do it for the rest of the season.
That's true.
Is that going to happen with another certain job opening that he may fill in the near future?
Yeah, they're going to use there's going to be a really helpful railing on the side of the stage, but he's just going to refuse to use it. And then that's why he's going to fall. So it'll be like, oh, Aaron.
He's like, look, this railing wasn't tested. Yeah. And if you read papers on this railing, there's some controversial ideas of how it works.
Mm-hmm. If you do your own research, by which I mean listen to Joe Rogan's podcast,
mm-hmm.
You think you'll find that railings are proven to not work.
Yeah. Did you guys
all stairway accidents have involved railings? So.
Do you guys have a Oscar win or something that you thought was interesting?
I do.
Okay.
Ooh,
what is it?
I was pleasantly surprised that Zone of Interest beat out Oppenheimer for best sound.
Yeah, makes sense. But Oppenheimer was the loudest movie.
Oppenheimer, it was certainly the most sound, which is why I thought it would win. But I feel like Zone of Interest sound is so integral to what that movie is. Like, the sound design is that movie. Like, the scenes are fundamentally different if you don't have the ambient noises that you can hear while they're going on of, like, the camp.
Right.
And so getting the mix of that right, like, it's just sort of this constant low-level hum of activity that you can hear that's always keeping the surface of your mind, like what they are actively ignoring. It's not the same movie without that. So I think it deserved it because like so much of that movie is in the sound design.
Yeah, I guess, but Oppenheimer was the loudest. So
yeah, it was very loud.
That's pretty important.
You got it. I mean, Sound of Interest did win, so we're making fun of the Academy for something they did not do.
You mean Oppenheimer won? Like they?
No, it did.
No, it lost. Yeah.
Oh, did
that's why it's a snub because it was the loudest one.
That's why I'm saying it's interesting.
Yeah. It actually blew up my parlay. The parlay I gave that blew it up.
And then, DJ, did you have an interesting win or something that you thought was interesting?
I don't know if it's a win, but
white people.
I do think
white people.
They did.
Oh yeah,
they did terrific.
Always the win with that. I think the Oscars needs to figure out like how to have some kind of award that is like best, like something for the people, like Flash breaking into the Speed Force.
And he broke into the Speed Force this year. It's bullshit. They should have at least made a joke about it.
It's still missing that element, I think. I still think we need something for the normies.
Absolutely not.
I don't know.
There's normie things that they refuse to do, like stunts, where they'd have to give it to a movie that's not Oppenheimer or something. Although they'd probably figure out a way.
Montage that was, that was cool, I guess. But they're doing casting as a new category. Like, come on. Yeah,
they've refused to do motion capture and they refuse to do stunts. Those are the two that everybody is like, you should do those. And they're like, no, that's not real.
And you know what? I thank you for saying the stunts, because what made me think of that was like the stunt montage.
Yeah,
right? They're like, but also actually, you know what? This thing is not the win, but interesting thing for me. Subliminal Spawn Con. Everyone who's there is there to promote a thing, right? Like Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling there for Fall Guys. Zendaya's there for Dune and Challengers. I'm trying to think some of the other like pairings, like the Rock and Bad Bunny felt like a low key ad for WWE.
Yeah, that was a weird one. And
like it just felt like the SpawnCon Oscars, which as far as like they'll go with it, right? But it was all promo stuff. Like they don't have any of like the vanguard of like Hollywood who like wants to be there for the.
To be fair, that's how we get Al Pacino. So that was a weird.
Yeah, I mean, facts.
I do think what was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, you know what I thought was interesting about the Oscars? I was sure Lance Reddick died this year. but it turns out he's secretly alive somewhere, I guess.
Oh,
because he didn't make it onto the in memoriam. Isn't that interesting?
Now, did you check the website? Because
sorry,
on the website.
Hey, I think Nando's right. Is he hiding out with Kate Middleton?
Apparently.
Are we sure they're not hiding out together? Because that might be what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, like I
Just
was
saying.
when they got to the end and then they did Andre Braugher, I was like, oh, okay, they saved like the big ones for the end, and then they didn't, and I was like, I'm pretty sure Lance Reddick was in a movie this year. Like he was in that John Wick movie, so couldn't find any clips of that, and it's like no, because they hate stunts. The end. They were like, you were in a movie with stunts, sir. You don't exist.
Well, but he doesn't do them.
He did one. At one point, he picked up a gun and did it and shot some guys. Remember that? I think it was the third one. And they had to defend the Continental. Also, no awards for Mel in the Continental, even though it was a show. Big snub. Big snub.
Yeah, we all love Mel. Yeah, they love nominating Mel Gibson for awards now for some reason.
Apparently.
So why not? Oh, he is on the website.
Oh, that's good.
So what?
I'm glad he made
Doesn't
the
matter.
website.
It means he is
What are we
dead.
doing?
Okay.
Oh, good. Proof.
Listen, I'm not saying they shouldn't have put him in the thing. I'm just saying he is dead.
All right. Thank you for confirming that he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Means
welcome.
a lot.
Yeah, that was
Sinead
weird.
O'Connor also still dead.
Yeah. Well, at least with
Again,
her, I'm like, she's not like
thank
a
you.
movie star. But like him, I'm like, he's a movie star right there. He was in a movie. I can name 3 movies he's in, probably. No, I can't.
Go. But you, without naming more than one John Wick.
John Wick 1. He did a lot of voice work. It's all TV is what I'm thinking. Percy
And
that's
Jackson,
the
the
thing.
movie.
I think
All
that's
that
maybe
Destiny work.
I think that's maybe why they didn't do it. People tend to think of him more of as a TV actor than
Yeah, but that's true of Andre Braugher, too. I figure, right? Like his biggest role, I would say like his biggest role was this TV show. Brooklyn Nine-Nine or whatever. What's another movie he's been in? I mean, I'm sure he's been in like, was he in one of these? One of these Kung Fu Pandas? He's a cool voice. He would have been a good, I don't know,
That would have been amazing.
Ox or something. I don't know. I don't remember how any of these go.
He is not in a Kung Fu Panda.
Poe,
Yeah.
it's time for you to meet your destiny.
Mm-hmm.
He's
This
in a
is time
surprisingly large number of movies.
No, he is. I'm pretty bad at this. What were they?
Let's see. He was in Godzilla vs. Kong.
He
One
was?
Night in Miami. Yeah. I'm just going through here and looking for movies you might have heard of. Because there's a lot of like little ones. The Guest.
Never seen
He was
it.
in the American remake of Old Boy.
Also
he
didn't
was
see
in
it.
White House Down. And
think
he
I've
was
seen
in
that.
Jonah Hex.
Never saw it. I have not watched it. It's DJ's favorite, but not mine.
Yeah, that's mine, right?
Uh,
I've been in many movies.
those are the major ones, I think.
Huh.
Poe, I will take you down and supplant you as the new Dragon Warrior.
I think DJ thinks he's doing a Lance Reddick impression.
It's okay. I think it's okay.
It sounds like it sounds like any person who's like cool. Like it's a deep voice.
But it's deep, but there's a cadence. He's like a very clear cadence to his voice.
Sure.
There's a pause, and then he gets to the rest. And then there's an inflection point at the end that means this is serious.
It sounds like somebody, but that somebody is not Lance Reddick.
I'll kill you. Welcome to the Continental. I can't get that bass in my voice.
He did love to say that. That was his favorite.
That was his signature
Being
line.
in the
That's
Continental.
true. He was like,
Welcome to the Continental.
he was like, please come in, Mr. John Wick 4 Parabellum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those movies are good.
Is he died in the movies, right? Like
Yeah.
in 3? Yeah.
They like shoot him in it and then they go to his grave. It's insane.
Oh,
It's in
jerks.
4.
Or 4, right. Whatever the most
That's
recent
4?
one was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, you guys, speaking of 4, we got to talk about Kung Fu Panda 4, a movie that also came out this year. Diggins.
John Wick 4 did not come out this year.
Yeah, that's true. It's a shame. Could come out this year. Then we'd be doing it now instead of before.
In fact, it came out almost exactly a year ago.
Yeah. That's why we forgot so many things about it, probably.
Or maybe
But-
because it was a forgettable movie.
Yeah, maybe that.
What?
But you guys, we got to talk about Kung Fu Panda 4.
That we do.
So what? Who's in charge of this one? Diggins?
I am, because
Unfairly.
I have the ability to remember anything ever.
I think I was vindicated on the Discord. I hear a lot of people.
I think the Discord was very 50-50 on your vindication.
Well,
I saw a lot of people who were like, it's crazy that DJ thinks it's unfair to expect him to remember anything.
but there were others who say, I think it makes sense they didn't remember anything. Because I don't remember things
I
also.
don't think anyone vindicated you. I think there's people who said, I would have been bad at that too. But nobody was like, it's an unreasonable expectation.
Fine, whatever.
I think the one thing that people were saying, the one answer that people remembered that I didn't remember, like we didn't bring up, was the Zendaya is Michi one.
Yeah,
Zendaya is Michi.
Which, like, I never watched. I've never seen that video. I've heard of it, and I know there's something weird about the guy now, but I never watched it, so I'm not useful for that. But Diggins, you're useful for telling us about the IMDb summary of Kung Fu Panda 4 and all that
Diggins
stuff.
is so useful, guys.
That's right, because here at Mostly Nitpicking headquarters, we have a little game that we like to play called the IMDb, B as in spelling bee, where my two esteemed co-hosts have to try to guess what the IMDb summary for this movie is. Now, you might be asking yourself, where does IMDb get all of those wonderful summaries? Well, I'll tell you. You see, at the IMDb.com headquarters, which is an office building in Tacoma, Washington, they have a machine in which they pour in approximately 3.25 liters of blood, preferably human, but orangutan will do in a pinch. They pour it into a funnel at the top of this machine. The machine then uses that blood as a kind of grist, and starts making calculations and churning out mysterious workings. Nobody is actually quite certain exactly how the machine functions. Its creator, Archibald T. Chwingus, died mysteriously over 40 years ago, leaving behind only the blueprints for the machine. Right. But as it sort of like does its dark work, eventually, approximately 7 hours after receiving the blood, it produces a single sheet of paper, upon which is written a summary for a movie. This summary, depending on the quality of the blood, by which I mean the number of sins the person or monkey has committed in their life. The more sins they've committed, the more accurate the summary is. It's not quite certain how the machine determines how many sins a person has committed, but it does seem to be able to tell.
I mean, that one I could figure out. The monkey one, it's like, can the monkey even sin? I guess for Congo, we kind of know that they're smart.
The Congo monkeys can definitely sin.
Yeah, they can sin. And those other things, whatever they're called, they were called the whites or whatever the monster monkeys were with human faces.
The grays?
Grays, yeah, that's what it was. They can definitely sin. And Amy sinned when she said what's her name was ugly.
Mm-hmm.
Laura
and when she
Linney.
had a martini. When she was underage.
That's true.
But anyway, the whatever person or monkey whose blood they used for the Kung Fu Panda 4 summary, I would say they were probably a pretty bad person because the summary's fine. Although it's missing, I'd say it's missing one major element.
Okay. By the way, speaking of information I have, either you guys want to guess how much blood is in the human body in liters? I had to look this up.
In liters? Oh, I'm going to be so...
Because he said 3.4, 3.5, I believe, was the number of liters that have to be poured into the machine. And I was like, is that more than one guy? Or is that several people? Or is that a drop in the bucket? You know, how many?
I think there are 57 liters of blood in the human body.
People just
so many
sloshing around. You walk and you can hear the swish of blood overflowing from bursting at the seams with blood.
In a Tarantino movie, maybe, but not in real life.
I want to say 7.
No, I mean, you're closer. It's about 4.5 liters of blood in the human
That's
body.
it?
But the funny part is it
It's-
accounts for 10% of the weight of an adult human, which means DJ's guessed it was over 10 times the actual thing. Means that there would be a person there who weighs like 100% of their weight is blood.
Just a person made entirely out of blood.
Deacon Frost from the Blade movie or something. The Blood Monster Man.
So DJ is operating under the assumption that everyone is a kind of blood golem.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me that we as humans are only like 2 Coke bottles worth of blood?
Apparently.
That's it?
That's why those rich people got to change it every so often, you know? Because they're running on empty. They're using all the good blood up, and they got to find some relative or unhoused person. I don't know how it works.
I thought we
but
were a
they
lot of
switch
blood.
out.
Or maybe I don't know what a
No.
liter is.
No,
Maybe that's...
It's well, I mean, a liter is, you know how much a liter is, right? Two of them is a soda,
Right,
and
that's
like
true.
a stuff
So,
like that.
no,
Yeah.
I stand by it. I think 57 is a solid guess. So.
Yeah, well, that
I mean,
is incorrect.
It's empirically not.
So yeah, but so I guess what I learned is we don't even need to kill one guy. We can probably, I mean, that guy will definitely die.
You're not doing very well after that.
Yeah, you eat a
it is
cookie.
difficult to lose that much blood.
Drink orange juice, you know, that's the thing. But yeah, so that's what I learned about blood. Interesting stuff.
Anyway, DJ, as last week's loser in a game that had completely reasonable expectations of you, you get to choose whether you go first or not.
Do we get a hint?
He gave
I said that it was pretty good, but it's missing one major element.
Right. I got distracted when we had to guess how much blood is in a human body. All right. Actually, can I have Nando go first? That's an option, right?
Yeah,
sure.
That was the question.
Right. Yeah. This is gonna go super well.
Okay. As he grows, I don't know. Well, I don't know if he doesn't grow bored with being the Dragon Warrior. Let's say Poe is protecting the Valley of Peace as the Dragon Warrior when a new foe arises, the deadly chameleon who has the powers to become all the old masters and threatens the safety of all the citizens or something. It was a chameleon, right? I'm not crazy. Yeah, no, it was.
Yeah, in fact, that was also her name.
That's right. She was the only one that got a name like this ever. For some reason, everybody else gets to have a name, but they just went, fuck, we'll call this one the chameleon. Cool.
All right.
Like Spider-Man. Good.
All right. Poe. Start over. Poe, the Dragon Warrior, must team up with an unlikely ally to take down a new threat to the Valley of Peace known as the Chameleon, who has taken the powers of all of Poe's former foes.
Were they all of Poe's former foes, though?
I mean, some of them were. Some of them were also former masters, but the
some
trailer,
of them seem to be cool
trailer
guys.
didn't explain that well.
One of them was like the guy who was a big rhino who was in charge of the jail or something, I think. That guy.
I think that
died.
was Master Rhino from the opening sequence of Kung Fu Panda 2, actually.
Oh,
But,
you're
yeah.
right. That is who that was. I forgot about that.
I'm
I'm pretty sure they didn't make a Kung Fu Panda 2. Otherwise, I'd remember something from it. I don't.
They just
that's not
skipped
true.
straight to 3.
Yeah, they went right to 3. Kind of like how the John Wick movies went 1, 2, and then the next one, but they didn't give it a number, so we all forgot what it was.
Right.
Yeah.
It was Kung Fu Panda again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, neither of you did very well.
Damn it.
I thought it was okay.
Is it tiebreaker o'clock?
I have a tiebreaker in mind, but I'm afraid it might be too easy.
Is it last? Or we're not going to do last week's tiebreaker?
It wasn't last week's game.
Well, like, I thought
because then DJ's complete inability to remember anything would just make it boring.
Oh, no, I'm good. I'm good.
Then
well,
let's
I'm not
do
doing
it.
that game.
What?
I'm not even worried. I'd love to. I'd love
No,
to.
let's
take
do
DJ
it.
in
We're
this one.
both Diggins. if both parties are in
All
agreement, then my
All
goodness.
DJ has spent his days sharpening his IMDb blade.
Let's go.
All right, let's do that game.
Go.
There's significantly fewer people in this movie than Dune 2.
Well,
so
then we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right. Now, here's a clarification I actually wanted for the game, Nando, since you're the one who came up with it.
Mm-hmm.
Can you say an actor more than once?
Yeah, I think you kind of have to be able to say an actor more than once.
Oh, what?
Otherwise, well, if like most movies, I did say during it, like it's, you know, ideal in ensemble movies, but if this was something you just wanted to break out for, like, you know, I don't know, all movies are ensemble movies these days. But like if you didn't want to do an ensemble movie, then you'd probably want to like give them a different. Like, I think you could double up on guys.
All right.
Especially because some of these people have so many roles. Like Lance Reddick, for example.
DJ, here's my offer to you.
Yeah, okay.
I will have this be the tiebreaker if you surrender the right to complain about this game ever again.
Deal.
All right.
Deal.
DJ has been memorizing that, and I'm fine with that, you know? I think it's great.
So, DJ, you get to choose whether you go first or not.
I go first. Now,
okay.
It's actor name in this movie and role and movie of that role. Is that the format, or is it just
no?
Oh,
just I mean, the way we did it last week, we just named a movie that they were.
We
role.
had to say the character name.
That's like
sure, yeah,
character name,
not act. Yeah, for a second I was like that. Yeah, correct.
Okay.
You're right.
Okay,
you don't have to say their role in this movie, but you have to say their role in another.
I got
movie.
it.
That's what I was confused about, because I'd be like, we couldn't have gotten through 3 people in fucking Dune. You kidding me?
Yeah. All right.
Duncan Idaho's dead, so not him. The end.
Jack Black, Bowser, Super Mario Brothers.
Very good. I'll say Aquafina, Marvel's Katie, Shang-Chi.
That's true.
Aquafina.
That's the name of her action figure.
Aquafina, Scuttle, Little Mermaid.
Ugh.
All right.
I'm gonna say who else in this movie? We kind of find some variants. But what was his name in fucking Argyle? It was probably something stupid like the Chief. I'm gonna say you know what he was? Wasn't Bryan Cranston Zordon in the Power Rangers movie?
Wow.
That is true.
He was, because he was in it as like a younger actor.
All right. Viola Davis, Amanda Waller, Suicide Squad.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Okay, I wasn't sure if Diggins was going to say it was true or not, but it is true.
It is true.
Yeah,
I mean, we all
positive.
just know that.
Yeah. Let's see. There's got to be a bunch of Jack Black ones. All right. I don't want to like take a risk. I want to save my risks for later. So I'm trying to think of someone. I mean, okay. The heck's his name? Kihei Kwan, Waymond in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ian McShane, Winston, John Wick.
Is his name Winston?
Isn't it? It better be.
I think that sounds close. If that's not right, it's a W on I believe. It's the most boring name in those movies, because then other people are named like the bird keeper man, and
it
like
is Winston.
Okay.
Trash Lord and stuff, and then it's like Winston. It's the most, yeah. Okay. Who else is in this? I'm pretty sure I heard his voice, so I'm gonna say Seth Rogen is. I don't know if these count as cinematic universe, so I'm going to say it's fine. Pumbaa in the Lion King movie. Like, there's no indication that takes place in the same universe.
They're not a universe.
Yeah.
They're just a brand. So
they keep trying to make it a universe, but it never works.
Yeah. I will count that because he is credited. Even though
I heard his voice.
Even though I believe they only used archival
really?
noises that
he is
made
credited
in previous movies.
But
he is credited, so I will count it.
Okay.
We're gonna go back to Jack Black because I just want to get this one off the board. So Jack Black, Dewey in School of Rock.
Not that guy's name.
Okay.
Dewey, yeah.
Nice. I'll do a Jack Black one. That was kind of saving. Jack Black, Hal in Oh, well, I can't do Shallow Hal, can I? Well, that's Shallow Hal, though. His name's not Shallow Hal.
It's his name.
I don't think it's the name. Fine.
Okay, here's what I'll say. Give me his last name and I'll count it.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go back. I even take my finger off the piece. I didn't finish saying the name of the where I said shallow ha. That could be anything. Who else is in this? Or I guess what other roles? I mean, Awkwafina's in everything these days, right? What was she in some things besides we did Scott Ol. We do we don't think we did this. Awkwafina is I believe her character's name in How to Train Your Dragon is Sisu? Or not How to Train Your Dragon, excuse me. Raya and the Last Dragon.
You
I was gonna say she's not
son
in those
of a
movies.
bitch. What a save.
She could have been.
What a god.
If it was 5 years earlier, she would definitely have been in at least one of those movies.
Potentially, but she isn't.
Yeah. Never too late.
All right.
Double checking the cast list here. Sisu, that's correct.
Yeah, Sisu.
All right. I'm going to do another Jack Black one. So Jack Black, JB in Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny.
That's an interesting one. But I'll accept it. I think it's fine.
I mean, I'll have the judge look it up, but I mean,
I don't think anybody can get a self. I don't think anybody can be their real name in a movie they appear in. But I think
he's the fictional character.
Yeah, exactly. I think in this situation, that is acceptable.
That is one of the names given for this character, so I will accept.
There's another name?
Jables.
Oh, they come. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I've never seen, Tenacious D, so I don't know. I believe you, but I'm. Seems fun. People seem to like it. Okay, who else is in this movie? Or like, what are the other guys? We did him. Oh, this is one that I think is funny that we haven't done yet. Ki-Hye Kwan, Short Round in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Okay. We're starting to get to the point now where it's like my research and memory banks are going to start emptying.
Yeah, I've got a couple that I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's that guy's name, or ones where I'm like, he was in that movie, but what would they call him?
I shouldn't have. Oh god, I shouldn't have went up against Nando in this. All right, so here's what we're doing. We're doing Awkwafina, Ocean's 8.
Oh, the character. Good luck.
Got to get that name.
Can I back out? Can I at some point just be like, actually,
you can back out. You can back out and say something else, but you got to give me something eventually.
I
thought you meant back out, like go back in time before the game started and not do it.
I had a Dustin Hoffman one.
I'd love to hear
His
it.
name's not Rain Man. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, that's the other character.
Yeah.
He's. Okay, now does it have to be full name? Because he's in Meet the Fockers, right? Dustin Hoffman is in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Will
I'm just saying. I don't even know if that's true.
Will
I'm pretty sure he's in that.
I'm pretty
movie.
sure.
I haven't seen it in a while, but like, yeah, I think.
Will the court accept Mr. Fokker? Is that something the court will accept?
Not in Meet the Fockers as given the title.
Right,
much like with Shallow Hal, I will only accept it if you give me a first name.
That's true.
All right. Seth,
probably something silly, right? It's probably like
who the
penis fucker or something like that, right? The son was like Gaylord fucker, right? That was part of the joke of that movie. I don't remember. It's been so long since I saw it.
Oh, okay. Is this? It can't be the name of the film, right? Like it can't be like Timothy Chalamet, Willy Wonka, Timothy Chalamet. It can't be that, right?
Can't be that.
But can it be Seth Rogen? This is the end.
That's up to Diggins.
I mean, he is in that movie, and he is only playing himself.
And it's not, the name of the movie isn't Seth Rogen.
The name of the movie is not Seth Rogen. I don't see how it violates any of the rules.
I'm pretty sure that's what grandmas call it sometimes. You want to see that new movie, Seth Rogen? This is the end. All right, you can have that one.
Can I?
Okay, now we're on my list of like ones that I'm like, I definitely know he's in this, but I don't remember what his character's name was. I'm gonna say I'm pretty sure about this one. I'm pretty sure in Monsters vs. Aliens, Seth Rogen's character is named Bob, and it's not anagram. It's like B.O.B. Like the guy that made that song. We all
It's an
forgot
acronym.
about.
Yeah.
Acronym. Yeah.
Like that flat earther guy.
Exactly. Oh, is he flat earther?
B.O.B. Hell yeah.
Oh, the musical artist.
Yeah.
Oh,
They sang the song about airplanes and shooting stars. Does he think they're just like in the firmament or something?
I guess so.
Damn.
I didn't know he was a flat earther. Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just looked this up, and Nando, you are correct for 2 points, which is to say DJ would have to give me 2.
What?
Can you tell me what that acronym is? I'm only offering this because there's no way he will be able to
Yeah,
get
I don't
it.
even know.
It's benzoate acetylazine bicarbonate. All right, but
That's
brings
what
us
we
to
in the
DJ.
business call a backronym. You know,
Yeah.
when they won't call him Bob and then they figure it out.
All right, I'm gonna say in the Seth Rogen category, and because I think this one's also on the nose.
Really making a meal of this archival footage.
Look, it's legal.
Yeah, right?
Okay, it's legal. Sausage Party. His character's name's Frank because he's the hot dog.
You'd think he'd be the sausage, but he's probably the hot dog. That's probably.
Oh, is he
true.
the sausage? Whatever.
No. I mean, I'm sure he is.
He
I don't
is
think there is a sausage.
But his name is Frank.
They went
Yeah.
pretty on the nose.
In Sausage Party, they went for no subtlety?
Yeah.
That's outrageous.
You sure? I'm pretty sure that was that movie had that movie had a lot of stuff that I'm like, man, we really went with that, huh? Like that was on the movie?
That really got made, huh?
Yeah, we did this and everybody they animated it was killed afterwards or something like that. It was one of those movies where there was like a big expose right after. And it was like do you guys remember this?
What?
That like there was something afterwards. It was like, yeah, everybody that was animating it was like, this is the worst. They made us, they put us on a big ship and hit a big drum and made us row. And that was how we made the movie.
That's what they made that Chippendale movie about.
It's how they make all
Sausage
movies now,
Party.
Okay. I kind of want to keep with Seth Rogen ones.
Let's go. Forget ping pong Seth Rogen back and forth until one of us falls over.
I mean, because he's in so many things and like I've seen every single one of them. I mean, this one I think is like, but the order has to be right that he plays Bebop in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Madness movie.
Ooh, let's see.
I think Rocksteady's the other one. I think Rocksteady's
John
like
Cena's.
John Cena's Rhino. Yeah. Otherwise, they should rename those guys because Rocksteady's a way better name for a rhino, and Bebop's a cool name for a guy with a mohawk. You don't even need to look it up, Diggins. It's correct. DJ, you're next. I don't know. You know what it is with Bebop and Rocksteady? I always know them as that name, and I always know them standing in that order. So I just assume at one point they were introduced that way. I know that he played the big one because that's the rules. He has to play a pig in every movie he's in now.
Oh, that makes sense, actually.
Which is why he couldn't be in this, is because his character's not a pig.
God, Google hates looking up this specific movie.
Yeah. Everybody does, even though it's the best movie of last year.
Sorry, who did you say Seth Rogen was?
He said Bebop.
Whichever one is correct.
He said Bebop.
He said Bebop?
Yeah.
Bebop is correct.
Okay, thank God. Yeah.
So now I'm really gonna lose the Seth Rogen. I can't.
I mean, I'm giving
You
up
could
on
pick
Seth
a
Rogen
different
after this.
actor.
Yeah, I'm done with Seth Rogen's.
No one's making.
I mean, we
pick
could
Seth
just
Rogen.
name schlubby guy names and then go,
because
super bad. Or something.
He's the cop in Super Bad. He's the main guy from Knocked Up. He's in 40-Year-Old Virgin. But actually,
I need names.
Ooh, wait, I've seen 40-Year-Old Virgin a billion times. I think I can get this. Oh my God, I can do this. I can do this. Whatever. If I go out on my shield, I go out on my shield. Is his name Cal?
It's a good name for him.
And that's it. I'm Seth Rogen topped out. I mean, except for Donkey Kong Super Mario Brothers, but we already did Super Mario Brothers.
We did already do Super Mario Brothers. That would have been nice.
Is that your final answer, DJ?
I mean, if I lose, I lose. I dug my own grave on this one.
Do I have to give a correct
Virgin.
answer if he's wrong?
40-year-old virgin. Seth Rogen's character is named Cal.
Oh, let's go.
Wow.
Thank God for me watching that movie 1,000 times in college and high school. College. And after college.
I've been holding on to this one because I wanted it, because I was like, I'm almost 100% sure I know what this name is because they say it a million times in the movie. But then I'm like, is this a different guy? So, but fuck it. I'm gonna say James Hong in Big Trouble in Little China plays a character named David Lopan.
Wow.
It's like if you've seen the movie, they say it a lot. He's like the evil wizard guy. So like that has to be it, unless it's like David Lodan or something like that. But I'm pretty sure it's David Lopan.
I am double checking this. I know Lopan is correct. But I'm
the more I think about it, the more I'm like, wait, is his first name David? This ancient wizard's name is David, and I'm like, I think that is his name.
James Hong is in Big Trouble in Little China, and he plays a character named David Lopan.
Yeah, the drama of these reveals, Diggins, is killing me.
It really, yeah.
I'm gonna have a heart attack.
I almost want to help Diggins out, but because like I'm like, who do I want to go back to? Because like I don't want to go to Seth Rogen.
Oh, I'm doing these deliberately now.
No,
I have them up when I
clear.
start.
I want to go into the Viola Davis file. Now can I say like James Gunn's Suicide Squad, Amanda Waller?
Same universe, so no.
No, it's not.
It is.
I mean, that one is.
Going forward, it's not the same universe.
The Peacemaker
that
reset thing we
universe.
learned about this week, but yeah, that's the same universe.
Fine.
How is it not the same universe? All the characters are like, hey, I remember you from last time we did this. And then they say all the things that happened.
Black Adam, Amanda Waller. That one's maybe different.
That one feels like a different universe, but technically it's the same universe.
Now,
Henry Cavill shows up in everything.
That's true.
So I really only have one, but I know there's she's in the Hunger Games.
Mm-hmm.
As
what's her name?
The scientist lady.
Oh, I need a name.
What is that character's name?
Yeah, so fuck that. So okay, now we'll see if you'll give me this one, or else it's gonna get real dark real fast. So Air, she's Mrs. Jordan, Michael Jordan's mom.
Mama Jordan.
Well,
unnamed basketball player 23's mom or something. You never actually see his face, so it could be anyone.
That's a great point.
It's like Peter Parker in Madam Web.
Yeah.
It could be anyone.
Okay, here's what I'll say. I'm considering counting it, and I might just count it outright. I would love a crack at that first name.
Don't make me. Come on. Don't make me.
Just a crack. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying your thing rides on this. I'm saying give me a crack.
I'm trying to go to the scene. Okay, they're like, listen, your son will be the greatest.
In fact, you know what? I'm just gonna say I'm gonna count it. This is for a 2-pointer, like Nando saying the acronym.
Is it? Well, in that game, like when Nando, whatever.
That's true. I haven't gotten a shot at a 2-pointer yet, and I knew that acronym, so we can't prove it, but I did. So
what are you talking about? I did ask you, and you said no.
You asked DJ.
Is it Gina?
No, I asked you.
Oh, I thought it was me. Is it Gina? Gina Jordan?
Nope, it's Dolores.
Okay. I'm going to do something that I am 90% sure was legal last time we played this, but we have not done yet, which is do a TV show.
No, I thought we said
we said you
that was
were
totally
like
within
desperately
the rules.
Begging for TV shows to count. And
really?
Nando said TV shows count, and then you couldn't think of a TV show.
So I'm going to do the easy one, which is Walter White in Breaking Bad. Bryan Cranston.
That is correct.
Oh, well, if we're doing TV shows, Ki-Hee Kwan, Loki, Ouroboros.
I'm pretty sure he's in the same universe as Marvel's Katie.
The MCU, which is already been used.
Wait, what do we use from the MCU?
Katie.
Way back at the beginning, he said Katie for
Shang-Chi.
Oh, God.
Otherwise, obviously, I would have said Ronnie Chang's character from that movie, whatever the fuck his character's name is, you know?
Okay, well then.
Gambly guy.
I forgot. Bryan Cranston. Walter White, Better Call Saul, right? Sure.
Same universe.
Shows up.
Of course, that's the same universe.
Oh, man. Well, I'm stuck on Bryan Cranston now. Oh! Godzilla. Bryan Cranston, Godzilla.
That's it.
Give me a character name.
As Dad.
Give me a character name.
As Dad. They don't
Give me a character name.
They never say his name.
I'm sure they say his name at least
minimum, they
once.
say his last name, and they do say his first name.
Yeah.
I need at least a last name.
It's not going to come to me. I haven't seen that movie in 10,000 years. Oh, boy. Is this it? Is this how I go? Is that... I think we could agree that...
DJ, I'm going to put a minute on the clock. You have...
No. We have given...
After 3 wrong guesses, I'm giving you a minute on the clock.
Oh, God. No. This isn't fair. This isn't fair at all. It was nice knowing you. Oh gosh, Awkwafina. She's in so many movies we do.
Yeah, she really is. We talk about it all the time, how much we hate it.
Yeah.
I can't remember what any of her names are.
There has to be like a movie that we recently did that
30 seconds.
Nora from Queens.
Yeah, the show Nora from Queens. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's in the name, so it doesn't count.
All right, well, at least that resets the minute clock.
Maybe,
no, it doesn't.
Apparently. I didn't. Oh, I mean.
Listen, this is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. This clown show here.
It's a clown show.
He only has 10 seconds.
This is... Okay, I know you said I couldn't protest, but, like, I'm going to protest, like, an arbitrary timer that's, like... was just...
DJ, I've let you say 4 wrong things.
Now, none of them were wrong. They were just, like, not allowed for, like, whatever, you know... like,
which makes them wrong!
If I get, like, timed out, I'm going to be so mad.
Then give me something right now.
We tapped the Seth Rogen file. Who else did this movie? Jack Black. Do we have anything left in the Jack Black file? Is there anything? He's not in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
And if he was, it would not count. How is he not in that, too? He should have been in that. He'll probably be in the next one.
He should have been Ray Fillet.
He's going to be Shredder or something.
Oh, okay. So Jack Black is in The Mandalorian.
Oh, yeah. Good luck with this one.
I need a name.
I was thinking about this, too. I was like, is there any shot in hell?
He's all right, hold on. Hunger Games. All right, Hunger Games Viola Davis. Doctor. Oh, this is so
I love the idea that DJ was like, I can't come up with this random Star Wars name. Let me take a shot in the dark at a Hunger Games name.
I remember we like just did that movie that I fell asleep in.
No, yeah.
I'm so mad.
I think we can all agree there has to be a point where I cut you off.
I mean, I agree with that too. Man, this has been savage.
Luckily, this movie is 5 minutes long, so it's going to be pretty easy to talk about it in whatever amount of time we have left.
All right.
Okay. Jack Black, Nacho Libre.
What's his name?
Is it Nacho?
If it's Nacho, then it doesn't count.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. I forget about Nacho Libre. That was a movie that we all liked.
I've never seen it.
It's good. It's a good movie.
It's okay. Looking back, I'm like, I don't know if we should have liked this as much as we did, but I think it was one of those movies where the title was so funny and Jack Black had so much stock then that we were like, you could do whatever you want, sir. Have a ball.
Who was Poe's dad in this movie? Is he any guy?
You never know.
Like,
it's
I
one
know
of
the
those
duck-
mysteries.
He's certainly not anybody who's already been used.
No, not the duck dad, the panda dad, because the duck
both have been used in this game.
Wait, really? This is
Oh yeah,
the best game ever.
Quite a few times.
You tried to use him in this game.
Wait, the panda dad?
Yeah.
Oh right, it's Bryan Cranston.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Bryan Cranston, Godzilla.
Give me a name.
Steve. I don't know.
Ooh, he's giving you a name.
He's giving me a name. Bryan Cranston's character in that Godzilla movie, Godzilla 2014, is Mr. Brody, Mr. Joe Brody.
Joe Brody.
I was kind of hoping it was Steve.
Joe Brody. Imagine if it was Steve. I was actually close. Steve was close to Joe.
So after filibustering for the past, no exaggeration, 5 minutes.
It was 5 minutes. Wow, we wasted a lot of time. I guess that's the next rule. What's the time limit?
Yeah. DJ has lost. Nando, can you, to seal it up, give me one more?
So I can take like a shot at my, this was my like one in my pocket that I was like, this has to be what this character's named. I have a feeling in Anchorman, Jack Black is named Angry Biker.
Is he really?
He has to be. What do you think his name is, like Phil the Bike Man or something? Like that's what his character is, right? That
is not quite correct, but it is close enough that I would probably give it to you. His name is listed as Motorcyclist.
Oh.
So you got the spirit of it.
Close enough, I guess. But yeah, I wish I had a more definitive one to end it on.
That's fine. You still win because DJ just couldn't think of anything at the end there.
Okay, how many volleys did we go back and forth? That was like 20 names.
No, I mean, you did a bunch of names, but you really stretched things out at the end there.
I don't know. Does the game lose all meaning if I just research everything right before?
Clearly not. It makes the game more interesting, but it doesn't seem to help.
Anyway, the actual summary, as printed out by the machine that runs on blood, is... After Poe is tapped to become the spiritual leader of the Valley of Peace, he needs to find and train a new dragon warrior, while a wicked sorceress plans to resummon all the master villains whom Poe has vanquished to the spirit realm. So both of you said the words Valley of Peace and Dragon Warrior and mentioned that there was a sorceress resummoning old villains. But not really. Neither of you really did it in the correct order, and neither of you got anything more than those specific beats, which you both got.
Did Nando mention the villains resurrecting?
I also think I used the word Valley of Peace, but also I may have said like City of Peace or something.
You said Valley of Peace. I said those were the three things I said you both did.
Oh, did DJ do? Oh, I didn't notice.
I didn't remember Nando saying the part about the villain resurrections, but it's fine. I clearly have a bad memory.
Yeah. Well, he said it was villains, and then after he was done, kind of second guessed, was like, is it villains or was it just Kung Fu Masters? And you guys had a brief conversation about it. Because I have a great memory.
I'll crush you in this game next week.
See you on the battlefield if DJ ever wins this game.
Stupid movie we're doing.
We may
no, I'm gonna over prep next time. I'm gonna go so deep into the bag. Like, can I write them down? Can I
What's the next? I have to admit, DJ, that pulling out Cal from 40-Year-Old Virgin was pretty impressive.
It's just a movie I've seen a billion times. Times. That's my stop-on movie. I stop on it every time.
Hey, Nando, as our winner, undisputed, you get to tell us what you thought of Kung Fu Panda 4.
Oh, my God. So I saw this movie 2 hours ago. One assumes. I can't remember anything from it. No, it was okay. I don't know. It was like, it really was. I've heard people say it's like not the best. It's like the least good one of these, and it's still okay. I think if it wasn't following Puss in Boots, it would be doing fine. I'd be like, yeah, it was pretty good. But Puss in Boots was like a really, really good DreamWorks, action heavy, drama heavy, everything you could possibly want. Animated sequel, so then you get this one and it's like I was kind of hoping this one would be the coolest one ever because it's the one about martial arts. But yeah, I didn't hate this movie, but it just didn't really get me. I do think Awkwafina, I mean I never think Awkwafina works in stuff she's in except for like I thought she was fine in Shang-Chi, but like I feel like a lot of the time with Awkwafina it's like an attempt to do like they put her on the thing. They say do Awkwafina, and it never like, especially when it's in some sort of magical world, it always feels a little weird. But I don't even think she was the worst part of this. So what can I say? Viola Davis was cool. I don't know. It was fine. It really makes me appreciate that first Kung Fu Panda movie for being incredible. And then all the rest of them have been slightly diminishing returns ever since. But I don't think the movie is terrible. It's wild how short it is. It barely qualifies as a feature. There's like 45 minutes of credits, I think, at the end, because they just had Jack Black do his little scat routine over a black screen. Yeah. Skiddity bop. He loves that, and good for him. Yeah, I don't know. This movie's fine. It's definitely not. I was hoping it would be more than it was, but I should not have hoped that, because I remember seeing the trailer and going, "What is this movie?" And then that's the actual answer. And you know what? I like the supported characters in these usually, and there weren't any in this, so that was a mistake. But yeah, I don't know. Didn't love it, didn't hate it. But yeah, a combination of it being a Kung Fu Panda movie and it being a movie that follows Puss in Boots is not a good, it's set up for failure. What about you, DJ? What did you think of Kung Fu Panda 4?
I'm in a pretty similar spot. I think the last point you made, that it being the Poe solo feature / buddy cop, hurts it pretty bad. Because it's I love Jack Black, but that character at this point is pretty flat. There's not a lot going on. So it's hard to just have a lot of that. There's so little growth. I know they try at the end for it's you must move on, but it doesn't really work. I think in the expectation game is I was hoping for some interesting animation, because a lot of the animated movies are going for more interesting styles of animation. Even Puss in Boots in the fight scenes kind of did a little bit of the more drawn, quote unquote, the 2D 3D hybrid, whatever, copy off Spider-Verse animation style. But this had the fight scenes had I don't know how to describe them, the paintbrush swooshes, as a
little Super Smash Brothers intros for everybody.
Cut to that, and then the fight would happen, but it wasn't all that interesting. The animation hasn't changed much. I will say, from the Kung Fu Panda perspective, I didn't see 3, and I maybe saw 2 once. I loved 1, but I don't know if 3 was also really bad or mid, and this one's also just pretty average, if that's what these are now. But it's fine, but it's not. I don't know. Nothing about it strikes me as interesting. It's pretty vanilla. It's probably great for kids though. Kids probably love it. What's weird too? The jokes weren't good even kids jokes. They were all the kind of joke style where it's big dramatic thing happening. Wait, what's going on? Why isn't this happening? With the moon bit, with the blood moon bit was one of those. The only funny gag that I'm that maybe kids would find that funny is when they're stepping over the lizards and then the fox plugs the nose and then he farts and then they all wake up. I'm oh, kids probably find that funny, but there weren't even a lot of those, which I'm oh, that would probably be good. So the jokes weren't there, which is weird because these are a lot of jokes and there weren't a lot of jokes. So then I'm well, then what's here? So yeah, it's not bad. But go to the theaters to watch it? I don't think so. Maybe if you love the franchise and want to see it on the big screen, but you can watch this on your TV and not really miss out on much of the experience. Yeah. What about you, Diggins? What did you think of this movie?
Now, Kung Fu Panda 1 is a very special movie to me. I adore that movie. Which means there's always a kind of residual affection that's going to color my view of any Kung Fu Panda movie. And I also love 2. I think 1 is better than 2, but I think 2 is still a great movie. 3 also exists.
Yeah.
And it's been 8 years since 3 came out, and unlike 1 and 2, I have not watched it since it came out because it's not that good.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's hard to say because my memory on it is kind of fuzzy. I do think I like this one more than 3.
Okay.
Which I remember being very muddled. This one is less muddled and more I feel like the story of this one has decent bones, and they just don't, whether it's the runtime or, writing problems or something, but I feel like they don't really utilize those bones well enough to to land. Like the basic structure of the story, I think is fine. I just don't think they hit anything hard enough that when we get to the big emotional beats, I don't really find them that strong because the setup's not there. But which is all to say that I think the movie's okay. It's not like horrible. I didn't hate watching it. I do think the animation may not be like innovative, but I think the fight choreography has always been great in these movies, and these ones are maybe not like some of the best they've ever done or anything, but are still solid. Like the fights are fun to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's just I don't know. I think the presence of he's in the trailer, so I feel like this isn't a spoiler. The presence of Tai Lung kind of emphasizes that in that he is such a like good, compelling villain in that first movie. And is like so tied in with like the emotional stakes of that movie so that the confrontation feels really meaningful, which is just not really true of Viola Davis in this movie. And Tai Lung being there just feels like that kind of makes me think about it more.
Yeah.
But yeah, so all that to say, I think it's an okay movie in a franchise that I think has proven capable of great movies. So it's a little disappointing, but also I'll eat that slop. This is my slop, okay? This is what I'll eat.
See, now that you mention it, because the 8 years thing does feel like, first of all, I also want to say this movie should have borrowed some of that runtime from Argyle. Bryan Cranston should have brought it over from Argyle, because there was so much extra runtime in some of these movies we've seen recently, and it's like, I like short movies, but yeah, I don't like hour 20 is a real, like... Apparently,
the short runtime was a hard studio mandate.
Really?
I get it. Like, it makes sense from a financial perspective, but... You've got to be a little bit more than this. Like, otherwise, I'd say studio, just say it's a minute long or something. Release a TikTok on the screen. You could play it a million times every day.
Idea.
Yeah. Well, that would be illegal, I guess. It can't be a TikTok, but it could be a YouTube short on screen, and then everyone will love that. The other thing I was going to say is, 8 years ago, it does feel like a relic of 8 years ago animation, as opposed to this new era of like really intense, like Spider-Verse, Puss in Boots, Ninja Turtles. Like we've done a lot with animated movies for kids looking different and cool and exciting. And this is just like, we did another one of those ones from a while back, and it looks good, but it doesn't really stand out for that reason. I mean, even Elemental like has like some elements of the Pixar look, but is still like visually ambitious in a way that like this not isn't ambitious, I guess, but isn't anything new.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get
even
that.
Even when they made the fourth Toy Story movie, they did all that work with like focus and lenses in like a digital space to make it really cool. I do think that movie looks very different from the other Toy Stories in a way that like none of the rest of these do. But yeah, I think this would have been the time, I'd say, for Kung Fu Panda to go all anime or something and be awesome. And I'm just surprised it didn't.
That's fair.
Yeah. I can't remember who was the bad guy of the third one. Did he show up in
General Kai is mentioned and makes a visual appearance, but does not speak in this movie.
Who was the voice actor?
J.K. Simmons.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Huh. Okay.
No.
That sounds like what they would get for these. He's a villain and stuff, just like Viola Davis and Gary Oldman and Ian McShane.
I was going to say, do you remember who voices Lord Shen, the villain of Kung Fu Panda 2? But you already said it.
Yeah, everyone's favorite guy. Non-problematic king. President, what's his name? President, what was he in Oppenheimer? Who's that president? It's not Eisenhower, it's one. Yeah, Truman in Oppenheimer. Yeah, Gary Oldman.
Also played Churchill. So he's working his way through those World War II leaders.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, he could be the Hitler in the Kingsman universe if he wants to really play all the bases.
Up for grabs.
But yeah, having Tai Lung be the first thing you see in this movie, and it's like, I'm Tai Lung, I'm back, is a very disappointing way to start a movie that doesn't have Tai Lung in it for real.
Yeah.
Although he does show up for more than I expected.
but not as much as you hope.
No, not as much as I hope. And I knew he wasn't going to be in it that much. I knew Viola Davis was the shape-shifting villain, but I was like, that's a movie that we could be watching instead, is The Revenge of Tai Lung or something. But I guess he's dead. Did Po kill him? Like, did he turn him into dust? What happened to his body?
No one ever uses the word killed or dead.
Yeah.
However, Kung Fu Panda 3 does make it clear that the Wuxi finger hold, which Po used to defeat Tai Lung, sends people to the spirit realm.
Oh, okay.
Which basically means you're dead.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he bust out that move again? You gotta use that more often.
That's another problem with this movie.
That's a plot point in 3.
Oh. And we'll get to it. But you know what? Yeah, let's start there because I have a wheel. Much like on that
cart he falls into in the chase sequence.
Yeah, there must be something like that. Yeah.
Don't I have to say what happened in this stupid thing?
Oh, I forgot.
Right.
Oh my
DJ's
god. Yeah,
gotta
good
tell
luck.
us.
No, it's easy. No, this
will take him like 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one's a layup. Po is the Dragon Warrior of the Valley of Peace, and he's doing great at it. But Dustin Hoffman, Master Sifu, is like, Po, it's time for you to be the next.
Do your Dustin Hoffman voice. Do the voice.
Po, it's me, Master Sifu. It's time for you to no longer be the Dragon Warrior. You must pick a successor. You are the new Master Oogway, which is the Lord of the Valley of Peace. And that's what he has to do now. He has to pick a successor.
Master Yoda, why are you speaking so strangely?
It's similar, right? They're small, diminutive masters. And Poe's like, I want to keep being the Dragon Warrior. So, that's the whole thing. So Poe's hanging out in the temple, and there's a fox who's burglaring it, and her name is Jin. Thank you.
Zhen.
Her name is Jin, and she's a fox because anytime you're in an animal world and there's a crafty animal, it's a fox. It's always a fox. Yeah. Nick Wilde was a fox.
Need a little something for the freaks, Get something for those Tumblrs kids out there.
And you know what, Nando? It worked.
Apparently, I'm sure it did.
She gets captured though by Po and then sent to prison. But then Po gets I guess I should have going back a little bit. The movie opens with Tai Lung seemingly taking down like an ore refinery place where they
were a mine, I think.
Something like that.
And just like bust it up. So that happens in the beginning. Then Tai Lung or the workers like go to Po. Tai Lung's back. He messed up our mine. You got to go get him. And he's like, oh, I got to go get him. And he's like, wait, Tai Lung shouldn't be back. It should be, he's in the shadow realm or spirit realm, whatever. And then like the fox, as she's being taken away to prison, is kind of like negging him about it. And it says like every step leaves a footprint, no matter how small. Ooh, mysterious.
Yeah, and you're like, what does that mean? And we never know.
Yeah,
we'll never find out.
Nope.
I was like, is this from the other movies? No, it's not.
So I forget exactly how. I don't know if it matters, but Po is like, wait, maybe that fox knows what's going on because that's my only lead. Oh, also that we'll talk
that might be his word. Like that might be his lines in the movie. Honestly.
It really is that immediate. Like she says that, he goes and looks at some footprints. Is like, I guess I got to talk to the fox.
She might know what's going on. Also, the Furious Five are nowhere to be found, or they're on missions. So
yeah, do you remember what the missions were? I kind of forgot, but I remember
one was peace talks. Seth Rogen was trying not to die from his wife.
Yeah, he's married now.
Seth Rogen is trying not to be killed by his wife because he's a mantis.
Because he did knocked up. He knocked her up.
Yeah,
like he does. Like he has one to do.
Cobra, Lucy Liu, is negotiating peace talks between the Cobras and the mongooses.
Yep.
One
of them was like a fire or something.
Someone's like the king. I want to say like Tigris is like
Crane is king of the reptilians.
That's right.
Okay.
Was that from 3 or is this just new?
This is all made up.
Okay.
They figured this out, on the day.
Yeah. They let Jack Black improvise.
Yeah.
God, what was
I mean, I think Tigress was like
Monkey was,
fighting a
like-
villain or something.
Tigress was just like fighting somebody, and I think
Yeah.
Monkey was getting a bunch of bananas.
Okay,
Is
so-
that or like hanging out with children? But I don't remember what it was. I think he was trying to. I think Monkey was trying to collect all the sacred talismans to defeat Shendu or whatever. Yeah.
No, Monkey was trying to get his banana horde back from the Kremlings.
Normal stuff.
So none of them could help, even though it's their job to help. But no, Poe's got to do it. So Poe goes see the fox in jail, and the fox is like, look, it's the chameleon. She's a sorceress. She can shapeshift. It's definitely her, because it can't be Tai Lung, Ian McShane. It can't be. It's impossible. And he's like, all right, you're going to help me find her, and then, we're good. And he's like, okay. So they go to like a bunny tavern to then get a boat. You know who I should use? Ronnie Chang. He's the fish in this movie.
Yeah, but from what? I had a hard time with this because
Crazy Rich Asians, right? He's in that, right?
Yeah.
Give me a name.
Cousin.
Give me a name.
No, it's like the bear. Everybody just calls him cousin.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies. I mean, everybody's somebody's cousin. Well, not
TV
the
show, Daily Show host. Sometimes. On
well,
Thursdays.
co-host number 8 or something. Wednesdays, Thursdays, and every other Tuesday host.
So there's like a fight scene, whatever, a lot of shenanigans because the fox is being crafty and cheating and doing all this stuff. So she's got to learn her lesson, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That doesn't make very much sense in the end of the movie, does it?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Seems like a very high risk to take for no reason. Things considered.
So they get a boat. They go to the city, which is called the Jade City.
Nope.
Something like that, though. Like some bullshit.
You got the right first letter.
Jasmine?
No.
Juniper. Jupiter.
There you go.
Is it Juniper City? Wow. All right.
Juniper City.
I thought it was Jeff City. Sorry.
Jeff the baby land shark city.
Yeah, he's an animal.
So they go to Juniper City, and she's a wanted criminal, so immediately they're pursued by cops. There's a funny bull in China shop scene. That's probably like my favorite scene in the movie. So then they have to go underground to her like crime family. Also, she makes mention to an obscure person who took her in because she was an orphan and trained her, but she doesn't give a name, and you're like, oh, who could that be? And it's like, well,
I don't think that's going to be important.
It's probably Kihei Kwan, who we'll meet later, Mm-hmm. Also, is something else that's completely pointless happening throughout all of this?
Oh, right. The dads are going after Poe because they're, I don't know, worried.
I don't know. They think they can fucking kill the Dragon Warrior or something. Like they can help.
They don't like
falling
trust
off a cliff together.
Yeah, they don't trust their son, the Dragon Warrior. Like it's not. So the Poe convinces the criminals to like just hide us out, and then we'll go after the chameleon. So they sneak into the chameleon's base, dodge all the guards, super easy, barely any inconvenience. They get to the like main chamber, and Poe gets captured. Now he has the staff, Oogway's staff, which is like the magical staff that could open the spirit realm or whatever. And this whole time he's kind of like training Jin to like help him out. And it's like, oh, she could be the next Dragon Warrior. So he's like, here, take the staff, get me free. And she's like, oh, I'm evil. Gives the staff to the chameleon. Because of Harry Potter rules, you cannot take the staff. It needs to be handed. Yes.
Also,
actually the other way around in Harry Potter. You can't hand the wand. You must be taken.
Right, it has to be won in combat. I forgot about this because in the first movie, Oogway dies. Right, like
he turns into petals.
Little petals. Yeah. Does he have this staff?
I can't remember.
This is in the third movie. He gives him the staff in the third movie.
Oh,
but
okay.
He's dead.
Poe goes to the spirit realm briefly.
Okay. Oh, cool. All right.
Oh, and then other question. What about the Kihei Kwan thing? I think you missed that.
Well, he's like the boss of the underground criminals peoples.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's honestly not much there.
Nope.
This did feel a little bit like, want to put Kihei Kwan in a movie? Yeah. Why not? So now the chameleon has a staff. She's able, so she's kind of like, oh, I was told I couldn't do kung fu because I wasn't good enough or whatever, and I'm real butthurt about it. So I did magic instead because I did math class, not dodgeball, because I'm a little weakling. So she opens a portal to the spirit realm, realm and like uses her awesome chameleon tongue to like suck the kung fu from all of the great warriors and Poe's previous villains. So that's
yum 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 yum.
fucking cool.
Yep, she eats it up.
And then she puts them in little boxes.
Yeah, and then locks them up. So like, it can be further angry.
So weird that she does that, considering it's their spirits or something.
Yeah,
it's kind of assumed they were inside of her.
Tai Lung gets to fight. That's cool, but again, hollow to Diggins' earlier point. Because he's so cool in Kung Fu Panda 1. So fights Poe, defeats Poe, drops him from like the top of the castle. But he gets saved more or less by the dads who are like on the side of a cliff. By the way, the dads have been doing shenanigans. It doesn't matter. Like they went to the inn, they went to the city. It doesn't matter. They got there. They might as well have teleported.
They're learning to be Mr. Walter White from Breaking Bad. That's the arc. Is like be scary like Breaking Bad.
Exactly.
It's better than nothing, I guess. I think they got to the end of the Poe parts of the movie and went, oh shit, this is 8 minutes long. And they had to do other stuff. And this was part of the other stuff.
Studio was like, get the shit out of here.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know at some point the Poe goes back to fight, but
pretty much immediately, I think. I don't think there's really very much.
He goes down to recruit the criminals to help. No, what did I miss, Diggins?
He does not do that. He goes back immediately after his dad saved him. Zheng tries to stop him because she feels bad about betraying him.
That's right.
Because they became real friends. And she does not successfully talk him down, but she and the dads go to recruit the criminals to go back him up.
Yeah, she says like, someone's like, we can't get in there. They have an army. And she's like, we'll get our own army. And then I think someone else is like, that's never been a problem for Poe before. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, right.
He's definitely faced down at least 2 armies.
So he goes back to fight, but meanwhile the Fox and dads go recruit all the bad guys through little silly shenanigans. So it more or less works where they kind of go back and fight, and Poe is just better this time. I don't really know why.
Needs help from what's her name, right?
Yeah, I guess that's good. The chameleon turns into a big scary chimera by merging all of the powers. Doesn't really matter. Poe does good punches, but then he gets locked up and then but gives the staff to the Fox. They got the staff back, by the way, because she already used it for the chameleon already used it for her purposes. And Poe's like, you do the thing, Dragon Warrior. And then she does like the cool magical dance from earlier that unleashes the dragon from the staff and hits the chameleon so good and makes all of her power go away. And then chameleon goes back to the spirit realm. And then I love this. All of the bad guys willingly go back to the spirit realm, which is crazy. Not my Tai Lung. My Tai Lung is like, all right, I'm going to kick your ass now. Like, I'm not willfully going back to the spirit realm. What are you talking about?
Because he didn't go to the spirit realm. He went to hell or something, for his sins.
Yeah, right.
He's like, I don't want to be there anymore. But no, he's like, instead, he's like, good job, Dragon Warrior. Me and you were cool now.
Yeah, right. You are the Dragon Warrior. It's like, you hate the Dragon, whatever.
I mean, I think if we did a movie where Tai Lung back from the dead, but gets his Kung Fu stolen, has to work together with Poe, and by the end has come to respect him as the Dragon Warrior, because Tai Lung's whole thing was he wanted to be the Dragon Warrior.
Yes.
So he does have a respect and understanding of Kung Fu that many of the other villains lack.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a cool movie, but it's not this one.
No. Not this one at all. So that's now she gets to be the Dragon Warrior, and Master Shifu's like, what the fuck, her? No, you dummy. But it doesn't matter. And I guess Poe will now be the spiritual leader of the Valley of Peace. And that's basically the
movie. Probably.
Yeah,
there's one other thing I think you skipped over the part where the chameleon turns into Poe for a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
For the trailer.
That was supposed to... Yeah, that was... Because she didn't suck Poe's powers.
No.
So there was no real reason for her to be Poe?
She turned it to Scaly Poe. Like, it was weird.
Yeah.
I'm like, that wasn't any...
all of her disguises were scaly.
I guess so, yeah.
She is still a chameleon, because like chameleons can just change their skin color. They can't actually shapeshift.
Like the eyes were still blue. That was the giveaway. There were like a couple scenes where like she intimidates like the 5 families of Juniper City, and it's like, okay,
the 5 criminal families.
Yeah, she does
Juniper
that scene
City.
from The Godfather.
Yeah,
pretty good.
So that happens.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Great
that's
stuff.
the movie.
Oh wait, what about the not post credit scene, but like the end of it?
The mid-credit scene?
Yeah, all that stuff.
Well, what, the best song ever, or like the little training,
Well,
where the
that's
Furious,
what the song plays over the training.
right? So yeah, the Furious Five come back and train Zhen. So that's cool.
Played by either archival footage or archival recordings of Seth Rogen grunting or nobody.
Yeah. They're all gone. They're all dead.
I did see a partial explanation for that, which is that apparently the more sequels you do, like it's in contracts that, like, for big actors at least, the residuals go up higher and higher. So to get Angelina Jolie to say a single line in this movie would have cost $20 million.
Is that what? Wow. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Damn.
They should
Now, it
have
wouldn't
shelved
have
the
cost that
movie for
much
tax
more.
purposes, you know? That's the
It wouldn't have
only
cost
way.
much more to get her to say a lot of lines,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
but
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
the bar for her being in it at all was high.
That's pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
But like you figure, I don't know, David Cross can't be $20 million unless he is. You know,
Is
Arrested
he still
Development's
out
going
there?
strength to strength these
what,
days.
What's he doing?
Still
Stand
working.
up probably or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
My initial tiebreaker was going to be if you guys could name the 5 voice actors who play the Furious 5, but it sounds like you could.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And their
Okay,
names
then
are
do
all
it right
just
now,
their animal
DJ.
name too.
Angelina Jolie, David Cross, Seth Rogen, Jackie Chan, and Lucy Liu.
That's
All right,
right.
you did it.
Shazam 2 Zone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm
Just
looking
like
at
Rachel Zegler.
that's right. Yeah, he hasn't been in too much stuff. I'm looking at his like IMDb now. It's in that Goliath show. I don't know. But
He's in that show Arrested Development.
yeah, which they apparently did like I guess they keep doing it and everybody goes, you don't have to do it though. They're like, no, we're gonna do more Arrested Development.
You're good.
Yeah.
I know they did a season 5. Are they doing more?
They did 4 was like,
feel like-
another kind of like revival season, and then they did 5 as another revival season that was like,
Yeah.
no guys, we learned our lesson last time, and everybody was like, this is technically better, but
I never watched 5 because I was like, and I'm a 4 defender. I like season 4, but by 5 it was like I don't need this back.
yeah. Apparently he's in the new season of Umbrella Academy, so
Oh.
he's gonna be playing the
Umbrella.
Yeah, classic Umbrella. No, he's gonna be playing 5. Might as well, right? That guy's gonna be so old. He's gonna have like a deep man voice, right? What are we gonna do about that? I want to find out. We'll find out soon, probably. But yeah, this movie, Wheel. We got a wheel.
Wheels.
And like-
do it up.
Like this movie. This wheel will be quite short. Here we go. First one. Wait a second. This one's mine. Wait a second. Isn't Poe a god? In the end of the third movie, I'm pretty sure Poe like ascends into heaven and stuff, right? Kind of.
Poe
Not like
is
to heaven,
in the
but like,
spirit realm
yeah.
and receives the key of all of the inhabitants of the Panda Village in
Right.
order that he could defeat General Kai, and so becomes like super powered with ki. However, he then speaks with Oogway, who gives him his staff, and he returns no longer a pumped full of ki spirit, but alive once more.
So Uwe like takes all his key away. He's like, yeah, how about the stick instead? Isn't that
Actually,
good?
how he defeats Kai is he overloads him with ki until Kai explodes.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this kind of transitions into a question: does this movie count? Or at the end, when Poe's like, "This didn't even matter. I could have killed him whenever I wanted." Is the whole movie pointless?
I mean, I have to imagine what he meant is he could have won at that end there,
Right.
but chose to see how Jin could do, and not that he let it get this bad just to see. I have to hope.
See how many lizards my dad gets killed before we do this.
Poe's
He's
just
gonna have
screwing
fun.
around.
Yeah, he's bored. That's his whole arc in the movie. Is like he doesn't really like doing the, he wants to do anything but hang out at the Valley Piece.
He's very
So,
over kung fu.
Yeah.
He's very into kung fu.
Yeah, he's
He
very
doesn't
into
wanna
kung fu.
He's not into the spiritual side of kung
Right,
fu,
right.
Which I get.
which is what he needs to be doing now
Yeah.
as the spiritual leader.
Um,
Which, frankly, I'm like, Shifu, I thought that was you from now on, and like you're still alive.
Yep.
Like, I feel like you should just get to do that until you can't anymore, and that's when Poe takes over.
Yeah, it's like the Supreme Court. You have to do it until you're dead. You know, you cannot retire, even though it will be convenient.
Hey, Oogway did it till he died, and then he left the position to Shifu, and then Poe became Dragon Warrior. I don't know. I feel like Shifu's just in a rush.
Yeah,
to get Poe promoted.
Well, he looked at his contract and was like, "There's no way they're bringing me back for a fifth one. Poe, I need you to be the new Dragon Warrior, otherwise we're gonna die or something." And then
you mean the new spiritual leader?
Spiritual
he needs
leader,
to give
right?
Up the title of Dragon Warrior.
Yeah, that's pretty good, isn't it?
It's be very problematic.
Not really good.
I mean, if I was Tigress, I would get back and I would be furious because, like, I really want. If I'm Tigress, I really wanted to be Dragon Warrior. And I got passed over for Poe. And I've come to accept that because Poe has proven to be a good warrior and like a fine man. And it's like, this all worked out for the best. But like when he retires, it's me, right?
Yeah.
Like obviously. Like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
It's just never Tigresses is the problem. It will never be Tigresses. Also,
there's a show of this, right? Is it canon?
There's like 5 shows of this.
Yeah.
Not canon.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that makes sense. I spin the wheel again, you guys. Landed on one of Diggins' Poe's 2 gay dads. What the hell's going on here? You know?
I mean, guys, I think they're in love.
Yeah.
He's got 2 dads and they're in love.
Yeah. Okay.
There's no other explanation for this movie.
Yeah, otherwise, why would they even bother hanging out as much as they do?
They don't. Well, I guess, do they ever actually say that like Poe's panda dad is his biological father?
Not in this movie.
So
they just say they're his dads.
Well,
which is beautiful that they've accepted each other so much as being equally integral parts of Poe's life and each other's lives.
Yeah, and Bryan Cranston can be Poe's stepdad. Right?
Bryan Cranston, by all that we see, yes, theoretically that could be true.
Yes. I understand that.
He does. Poe does at one point call Ping his adoptive father.
Right.
That relationship is clearly outlined in this movie.
That's a downgrade. And how dare you, Poe? That's rude as fuck.
Well, no, he's just in the context of being like, I was alone and then I got adopted by my dad.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Like, not in terms of being like, this is my dad and this is my adopted dad.
Right.
What do we think of these two in the movie? Did we love them?
Oh, man. Every minute they're on screen, I'm like, get it out of here.
Now, I will say Bryan Cranston was responsible for one of my heartiest chuckles in the film.
Oh.
I'll have to give him credit for that. When he eats the mahjong tiles.
That was great.
Spits out teeth.
Yeah.
That did make me laugh.
That was so funny.
That was weird.
So I got to give him credit for that.
Yeah, I do appreciate that. That was good. That was good chuckles.
Yeah. That's cool. That was cool.
But otherwise, they really didn't need to be in this movie at all. They don't provide anything. Not even, like, if they weren't important, they didn't end up being important to the plot, really. But, like, there was some emotional reason why having his dads around ended up being important. Like, if the bond between Poe and his dads was something that Jing saw not reflected in her relationship with the chameleon, which made her kind of reflective and was part of her face turn, then I'd be like, all right, then I see why you had them be here. But that's not what happens.
No, not at all.
They're completely superfluous. So it's like, why is so much of this movie about them?
Yeah. But it's definitely because, James Hong, probably on the cheaper side compared to like Angelina Jolie, and Bryan Cranston has technically only been in one of these.
He's only been in 3 so far until now.
Okay. Yeah. So he's also on the cheaper side. Next movie, we're going to be begging for him back when it's just Ronnie Chang and Awkwafina, and Viola Davis now is a good guy or something.
The Kung Fu Panda movies don't really do that. This Tai Lung respect moment at the end is the first time a villain has been in any way good.
It took a while for the Fast and Furious movies to do it too, but then once they did it once, they just couldn't stop.
They'll get
That's
there.
A good point.
They're all going to join the Furious. But Furious 5 is going to be Tai Lung, Gary Oldman, the big Manta Ray, and then Poe and what's her name.
Do we have a wheel slice about talking about the villains in general?
No, I mean, we have some things. Yeah, we have things about them, kind of.
All right, I'll wait for that then, because I got something about Lord Shen.
Well, at first one, I want to get, speaking of villains, because I've spun the wheel again. This lands on Don't Show Me the Cool movie. Remember that part where Poe fights the kaiju? That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
That could have been a movie.
The Stingray?
Yeah.
In like the very beginning.
It's
like a big monster guy.
It's a regular sized Stingray.
I mean, it's huge compared to him, though. All the animals in this movie universe are about the same size. And then there's this. And it's like...
Stingrays are big.
Yeah, well... I mean, I've seen the one that killed... What's his name?
Steve Irwin.
Yeah, it was about as big as him. But like, this thing's like the size of like... I don't know. But also, it's not like... It doesn't feel like it's like a guy. It feels like it's a monster. It has like
true.
Jagged teeth and stuff. And
it ate a child.
Yeah, it's cool.
3 children.
It's pretty cool. And like, when that happened, I was like, oh... I mean, I knew this wasn't what the movie was, but I was like, oh, it would be cool to see him fight like a big giant guy, because that'd be hard. But whatever. I like that fight. I think that's my favorite fight in the movie too, which is a bummer because it's over 2 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool. What was the line did they say to transition that? They say like he's catching some rays or something like that.
Oh, there was like some kind of pun. I can't
no, it was next time keep your surf out of our turf.
Oh God. Ugh.
Oh yeah, that was a good line too. Oh, speaking of shit from the beginning of the movie that the movie forgets about, because this is not anybody else's thing. I spin the wheel again. It lands on, hey, remember that part where Poe is doing advertisements for a business as the master guy, and you're like, oh, he's probably gonna have to learn not to do that because that's like not good to do as Kung Fu warrior man. But that was cool.
It's fine. It's
totally
fine.
No, Nando's product placement and sponsored content are good.
Yeah,
and we like them.
And you should use
as the DreamWorks Corporation. We think that stuff is good.
You should use ancient relics to do your ribbon cuttings because that's so fun.
I mean, yeah, this movie is like, it's going to be really easy to insert the Cerveza Cristal into this movie.
Cerveza Cristal!
We'll just reach right into the stand and it'll be that.
We could get Jack Black to do the Flaming Hot Cheetos song. Pretty good.
Jack Black, he loves
You mean the one that was performed at the Oscars?
Yeah, the very same. Michelle had to ask me, wait, what is this? And I had to explain. It's Flaming Hot Cheetos.
Better than Wonka, that's for sure, apparently, according to them.
Hey.
According to the Academy, it's better than every song in Wonka, except maybe Pure Imagination, because it's not eligible, because it's not original.
True. Yeah.
Better than every song in Wish, which actually they might be right about that one.
I like the one where they wanted to have sex, but then they changed it. That was a good song. It's one of my favorite things in this year. Speaking of that, I spun the wheel again. Landed on one of DJ's, The Forgotten Five. We've talked about this already, but yeah, weird that they're not in it.
Yeah, it's like, so the royalty explanation makes like a ton of sense, Diggins. It's just like funny, I think how, and again, it's just for me, I didn't see 3, so the first 2, like how integral they are to just like making the story flow and kind of like fleshing out like the Valley of Peace, which gets like super shrunk in this movie, which like I guess is fine, but it's just very funny how it's like, you know what, these guys aren't in it anymore. We're just gonna get Aquafina to do the thing, and that'll probably work out. But just they're all gone. They didn't even keep one, but they're all gone. It could have been the Poe and Crane movie, but no, they're all gone. And I just thought that was a choice. So.
Yeah. I like, I'm not a human. I don't think the answer for this is when your actors want money, recast them. But like, if Angelina Jolie costs $20 million or whatever, I do think it's time to do something. Like, we got to put her in the movie. I don't know, but maybe she just didn't want to do it. Maybe she was like, I'm Thena now. That's all I'll ever do. Thena and global charities. And they were like, I don't know what to tell you, but Kevin Feige just said, we're probably not going to make the second one. She was like, now we are, though.
But she's like, but what about Harry Styles?
Yeah, we'll never know what his whole thing was. And then...
And it's that he's got the date rape powers.
Yep. But the other thing about The Forgotten Five, to your point, it's weird that the actors, because the actors are such a big part of the movie and stuff, the characters are in the movie. It's just a really weird for the point of the movie. It's like, I get it, peace talks, but like Mantis could come, right? He's a fucking monster guy. He's married. That doesn't mean he's not a dragon warrior anymore, I assume.
Well, he's never been a dragon warrior. He's been one of the Furious Five.
Whatever. But like, yeah, we gotta be able to send somebody. Like at a certain point, it would have been like, yeah, and Monkey's playing video games this weekend, and I forgot Tigris's number, so it's all you, Poe. Go get him.
I forgot my own adopted daughter's phone number. Is
Yeah,
what Shifu says. Yeah,
it's about as much as he mentions her here. So
it's
fair.
True. They don't even get named. Well, I guess in the explanation,
they get named.
Barely.
Mm-hmm.
They barely get names.
Yeah, like I want to say there's one point where Poe is playing with the action figures of them.
Yeah, and that's how he's explaining it. And there's cardboard cutouts of them. So bad.
Yeah, because the kids come up with the action figures and be like, "Are the Furious Five going to be at this restaurant opening too?"
Yeah,
and he's like, "Nope, they're all too expensive."
You think so, right? No, yeah, they're busy.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I mean, other than Tigris, they've never been a huge part of these movies. But Tigris, at least, yeah, like I would say she's like the fourth biggest character in the movies after Shifu and Oogway.
Oh, hell yeah.
Honestly.
Hell yeah.
So, like, it feels crazy that we continue to have these that we would have one of these without her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. But we did.
Yeah, we did it. We did it.
Pretty good.
Pretty stoked about it.
Yeah. I spun the wheel again. Land on one of DJ's How to Train Your Panda. What is this one? I was curious.
Oh man, so I just something that kind of struck me during the crazy Chimera fight, where it seems like they just took all those dragon assets from How to Train Your Dragon and just shoved them into this movie.
Yeah, because when she was like making the wings, I'm like, that's not what his wings look like. I could see him.
No, no, they just pulled the assets right out of How to Train Your Dragon, right out of there, and I'm like, good, bold guys, bold. So,
yeah.
I just found that interesting.
If Diggins didn't like this movie before, this was definitely not going to win him over.
Yeah, right.
I mean, How to Train Your Dragon 1 is a great movie.
That seems to be the trend in general with these.
I think the declining quality of the How to Train Your Dragon movies is much worse than the declining quality of these movies.
See, it's another one where, like, I'm sure I saw the second one and third one, but I cannot remember more than one detail from each, which is...
Well, you only need one detail about the third movie, which, as I've said many times, is about genocide.
Yep.
Approval.
And that's, cool. Interesting. Mm-hmm. As opposed to this movie, which is about nothing.
Yes, exactly nothing. Yeah.
So
it's about sometimes things change, and that's fine.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I spun the wheel again, landed on another one of mine that wasn't on the wheel, but whatever. The Big City or whatever. It's weird that part of this movie also feels like it's like, oh, the movie is about Poe not being able to adjust to the big city or something because he hasn't been here before. And it's that for maybe like, there. What's up?
For a few minutes there.
Yeah, it does not like it's so weird how many things this movie picks up and drops for a movie that's so short. Because any of them, if stretched out for another 5 minutes, could have been a theme.
Right. Yeah, it's true.
Like, especially because I don't understand what is Poe to these people.
To the city people, no one. He's a fucking loser.
But they know who the Dragon Warrior is, right? Like they say, like, yes.
No,
at one point, someone's like, Oogway was sick as hell. You're not Oogway though, and it's like, have you not been keeping track?
Shifu.
Or Shifu? Okay, that's even more recent then. Why do they know who he is?
Because he's the legendary Master Shifu who has a Kung Fu master.
Yeah. And if they're so worried about Tai Lung and like other characters are like, oh my God, this monster guy is back. Where are they from then?
Those guys are from the Valley of Peace. The guys who are like, Dragon Warrior Tai Lung is fucking our shit up.
I guess it feels like there's just, it does feel like this movie, I don't know. It's got a really strange sense of scale. It doesn't quite work for me, especially when the characters in this movie are like not curious about this guy or don't seem to think the first 3 movies mattered. Because it's like, I guess they didn't. What would have happened? Tai Lung would have taken over that valley, and those rabbits would have had to work for him or something. I don't know. Would have been a kind of a bummer.
I mean, the second and third movies would have had more wide-reaching consequences if Poe had not stopped the villains.
Oh yeah, because in the second movie, one of them like invents gunpowder, right, or something. That's his deal.
This is something I wanted to bring up about Lord Shen. She summons Lord Shen and eats his chi, or whatever, as like one of the Kung Fu masters whose fighting style I must know. And like, he does do some fights in that movie, but he's not a Kung Fu master. He was a threat because he invented cannons.
Yeah.
And the whole thing in that movie was like cannons were a weapon that can destroy Kung Fu.
Right.
Not that he knew Kung Fu.
Yeah, that's true. On that same token, it's weird that we have sorcerers in this universe now.
I mean, that makes sense to me in like a wuxia kind of way. Like, evil sorcerer in an old like Chinese martial arts film is a thing.
I guess it's just another one of these things where it's like, how is this the first time we've ever heard of one? 4 movies in. And yeah. You know what it feels like to me? It feels like this movie takes place in Reseda, California, where everybody solves all their problems. Like, all of these movies up until now have been solved with Kung Fu. But then when you leave Reseda, it's like, does anybody else do karate in this planet? No. Nobody else gives a shit about karate. You're a weirdo. And it's like, I don't know. It's just weird. We all know where Reseda is, right? That's like a reference people understand.
I didn't get it at all.
It's where the Karate Kid takes place.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like,
What
it's a
about
town
Cobra
that
Kai? Is Cobra Kai there?
Yep. And it's a town that seems to run on Kung Fu and karate and stuff. Everybody gets really into it. Like, it's the South with football. They go to the local karate. Somebody points it out. They're like, man, they love their karate here. It's like, yeah, it's weird. They're like local celebrities and stuff. Speaking of celebrities, I spun the wheel again, landed on one of Diggins is The Running of the Pigs. This doesn't have anything to do with celebrities, but they have, yeah, that's something.
Yeah, so there's a little scene, DJ might mention it, where the cops get wind of Jing being back because she's a criminal in the city, which I have some questions about, but whatever.
Yeah.
Because if she's the chameleon's ward, then the chameleon runs the city. She can't like get those taken down. Presumably the cops are in, if not in the chameleon's pocket directly, they're in the crime lord family's pocket who all answer to the chameleon.
Yeah, the chameleon rides around on her big litter and just gets to do whatever she wants in flashbacks, apparently. So I don't know where things changed for her, but it seemed like she was mayor of this town already.
Right, so I don't understand why Jing is still wanted by the police. Unless they just told the police to do this today just to really sell Poe on things, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, they arrest her for being a wanted criminal, and Poe is like, "Excuse me, sir. This must be a misunderstanding." And because they're fucking pigs, they're oxes. They're bulls, but they're pigs because they're cops. Somebody questions their authority once, and they're like, "Well, that must be a crime because I feel upset about it." So they arrest Poe too. And then they have a big chase scene that, as DJ mentioned, has a scene where they all run very quietly through a china shop, which is kind of funny.
I loved it.
Yeah, that part was cute.
They were all very considerate too and nice. And I was ready for like, oh, who's going to run it over? But no, they got away scot-free, like the china shop owner did. And I was happy for him.
Not like that poor fruit seller.
Oh,
Nope.
no. Can't catch a break.
Yeah, can't catch a break.
Yeah.
I
was ready for it to be a pork roast for Poe to start beating up cops, and me being like, "Yes, we stand a pro defund hero."
You're gonna be so happy.
Yes,
but he doesn't
Wushu figure holding all of them one by one.
Get wrecked.
Poe, I don't think we have time for this. It's important. Okay, we're gonna do it anyway.
Poe is like, "Oh no, I'm a hero, good boy. I can't fight the cops." And I'm like, "Poe, are you even listening to yourself?"
Poe, do you even know what a cop is? You don't seem to have encountered these things before. I will say the cops also were my only joke of the movie. Well, not only, but the joke of the movie that worked the best for me when the dads go to town and start looking for him and have like a little bit where it's like, I have wonderful instinct. I could track Poe from a mile away, and they're looking down at the ground, and then there's just wanted posters as far as the eye could see, but they are ignoring them. I thought that was cute.
That was funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently all that was just theater put on by the chameleon to trick Poe into coming to the place.
Yep.
I mean, either that or she just, in the past, however old Jing is supposed to be, past however many years, just never told the police to stop trying to arrest her.
Mm-hmm. And not even just told the police to stop trying to arrest her. Told the police to like, because I could see a world where they pretend to arrest her, but she just gets away at the last moment. But they like fully arrest this character, and it's like if they did a better job, this wouldn't have been good. Also, they almost die in that fight at that restaurant. That would have been a bummer for the chameleon.
Yeah.
What happened? I tried to cheat at mahjong, I guess, or something. So you can't summon the souls of everybody from hell. Like,
sorry.
Did we talk about this before? No, I guess not.
Well, sometimes you can't help being a criminal so hard that even when it goes against your larger scheme, you got to pull some smaller schemes.
Yeah. Also, is mahjong a game you could conceivably cheat at that way?
Stealing tiles? I mean, probably.
I feel like they're in front of you, right? Like you would have to take them away from yourself and just put them in your little tail, and people wouldn't go, where'd your tiles go?
People cheat at cards that way. Yeah. I think the idea is more it's sort of like a system where you have extra tiles and you're like swapping them in and swapping tiles out.
Oh, that's what she's doing. So she came with tiles. She always has those tiles in her tail. Yeah.
I don't know precisely. I don't, like most people on Earth, I don't really know how mahjong works.
Same.
Much like Gemma Chan in Crazy Rich Asians. In the beginning of Crazy Rich Asians, you don't know how mahjong works. But in the end,
by the end of it, I'm so good I can beat Michelle Yeoh.
Yep. Speaking of not really that, but kind of that, I wanted to do one of mine, Poe and the Last Dragon. Do you guys think it was weird that this movie was about Poe and Aquafina and three little weirdos and an actor from Shang-Chi just doing a thing together as a group? Because I liked it better when it was called Raya the Last Dragon.
Did you?
No, I didn't. I like them both about the same.
I think we have receipts on that one.
But with the three little guys, I'm like, that was in Raya, right? And then Ronnie Chang. Yeah, there's three little weird guys. They're pickpockets, but it's like she amasses a team. I know, exactly. Yeah. And
if you say so.
Yep. There's a team of that, and then Benedict Wong plays like a guy who's their friend. And that would be the Ronnie Chang stand-in. Although there's also a guy that owns a boat that they have to prevent first. So you could say Kihei Kwan is kind of the Benedict Wong stand-in, and then Ronnie Chang is the whatever kid who owned a boat and acted like an adult. But just a lot of this movie is just like Raya and the Last Dragon. And
although this movie does have one cameo that Raya and the Last Dragon could only dream of. Did you guys catch this one?
I don't know.
It's a little cameo. It's a very small role. It's like a line.
I don't remember. No. What is it?
Gets credited in the end credits.
Could we use it?
That is Nando's best friend and close confidant, Mr. Beast.
Oh yeah, that's right. I saw he was in this. Well, I would have named him his character from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but we had already done Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so I couldn't use him. Yeah, what was this guy? I didn't look this up afterwards, but I should have because I saw that he was in it.
I don't know. I think he just says a line in the movie. I don't even remember what line. I didn't notice at the time because I have no idea what Mr. Beast sounds like. I've never watched a Mr. Beast movie in my life.
Yeah, that's what
I never will. Yeah, see that big article that came out where he was like, I don't have a personality or hobbies or interests because it would make my YouTube videos less broadly appealing.
Really?
That's
my personality is YouTube.
That's sad.
It is sad, but these are all real things he said.
Yeah, he is in a prison of his own making, much like all the famous people, really. But yeah, that's how it goes. Also,
just like you, Nando. Just
exactly.
Like you.
Yeah. His character is Panda Pig, so he's one of the guys that auditions for Be Furious or Be Dragon Warrior. Remember that? It's like a pig
he's the one who says
Kung Fu Panda.
He's the one who says skadoosh. And
yep.
Then he's like, good pose work.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Black is Poe.
Yeah.
Where do these guys come from? Where did she get them?
I don't know.
They're the new Furious 5 stand-ins. That would be funny. Furious 5 comes back and they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. These guys have replaced you.
Yeah.
They're so much cooler. Have you seen them?
They are pretty cool. Like, they should help. I don't know why this is just a Poe thing. That one
They're
guy
like,
could like break a humongous boulder in half with his little finger or something. Like that's even handy.
Yeah, but that guy was the screaming goat guy. So Nando, you
Oh,
wanted
yeah,
to be in the
that's
movie
right.
more than he was.
it's true.
It's fair.
If you had to pick, would you rather screaming goat guy or Aquafina?
Ooh, screaming goat guy.
Yeah, I liked Screaming Goat Guy for a little bit. I thought it was cool. I liked it in the stupid Thor movie. So, you know what? It grows on me. I think it's one of those jokes where it's so bad, the fifth time you do it, I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
And like,
wow, you heard it here first. These two hate Aquafina so much that they
No,
would rather
no,
have
no.
Screaming Goat Man.
I
That
love the goat that much. Let's
Yeah.
get it. Don't get it twisted.
well,
Sure.
Aquafina, man, these movies, I just don't like the way that she's like used, kind of. Like there was a line that I wrote down because I hated it. I don't remember what the word is or I don't remember what prompts this, but somebody says like, you're gonna be something. You're gonna be the Dragon Warrior. No, it'll be like, it was something like, you set me on fire or something. And whatever it is, she says to them, I love that for you. And it's like, we're just doing lazy like stuff like, things from the kids say. Like, it's just so doesn't work.
I get it. I get it.
I mean, I get why they did it, but I don't.
I get your complaint. I'm sorry. Like, I agree with you. Like, I don't get it, I guess, in fact.
It's weird. Yeah, she feels too contemporary for this universe, but and that's how I feel about characters in everything. Yeah, hers and others. Like, I feel like there was something we did recently where there was a character and I'm like, this guy doesn't fit.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was. It was Amy the gorilla from Congo.
Yeah,
It's like something up with this guy. Yeah. Spun the wheel again. Landed on one of Diggins' curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
Yeah, so I mean, we all knew she was going to betray Poe, right?
I wasn't sure if that was the bit or if she was secretly going to be the chameleon the whole time or something, because that seemed plausible. But
I didn't think that would be the case, both because we saw parallel scenes with the chameleon while this is going on, and they did always have the chameleon have reptilian features when she was transformed. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like then it would be really cheating to have it be a seamless transformation for this one, like, person.
I mean, they've done it before.
Yeah,
movies like this have forgotten the rules.
I know, but I would have been like, that's cheap.
But
no, I mean, as soon as she was, I mean, like, I had a feeling it was going to be the like heel turn, but then regret, become good for real sort of thing. But as soon as she was like, someone took me in as well, I was like, oh, so she's actually just working for the chameleon this whole time. And like, that's going to be the reveal. Got it. Yeah, I'm a sucker for the face turn. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
I love a well executed. The power of friendship and love makes the bad guy decide to be good. But it's just not done that well here.
Well, in this one, she like betrays him and then is immediately like, I shouldn't have done that though. I'm gonna be a good guy.
I know, right?
Like, and that's the thing that stinks.
It's such a turn.
Yeah, there's no like, yeah, there's just no back and forth or tension. That is boring. And I do think the dads are the like road into that, but they don't meet her until after she's fully committed to being a good guy again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so it doesn't work. What was I gonna say?
Yeah, imagine if it was like I don't have this fully formed in my head right now because I'm just thinking of it, but something like Poe has to fight Jing because of the betrayal, and she's winning because he doesn't want to fight her, and he's still all hurt and shocked by the betrayal, and like she's about to like punch him off the cliff or whatever, and then the dads show up, and like even though they're way outmatched, they try to stop her because they love Poe so much. Right. But it gives him enough time that Poe then starts beating her. And like beats her down, and the chameleon is just like, well, whatever, and just going through with her thing and doesn't care about her.
Right.
And she sees the contrast between his dads have a genuine love and affection for him that the chameleon doesn't have for her, and that starts gears turning in her head. Like, that's something.
Yeah, you know what you could do? If they for example, wanted to write out a character played by an actor who is incredibly old, have what's his name sacrifice himself to save the son or something like that. The little duck guy. So that we don't have to deal with that for Kung Fu
finally
Panda
killing
5.
this
kill
character.
James Hong, I walk.
He's like gotta be what, like 90 maybe?
He's in his 90s.
Yeah.
So James Hong is probably not working for too much longer,
Yeah,
but that doesn't mean we have to kill Ping on screen.
I mean that, or we have to start doing the Fast and Furious 7 send off now then. Because I'm not excited to see him. He's gonna also, I guess, go with the Furious 5 right off screen laughing too next movie or something. Because like they just this would have been the time for it. And I also don't want them to kill him, but I'm like, that would have been the time. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe they think you're gonna do 15 more of these with him. Maybe there's
I mean, yes.
Hollywood,
Jack Black's
formula.
only like 50. They're gonna keep going.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have done that with Shifu, who also could have been reunited with his adoptive son, Tai Lung.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shifu not being in this movie was also kind of weird. But
well, not being in this movie very much.
Yeah. Like not being part of the actual plot. Like what was he doing this whole time?
Chilling.
Good for him.
Hanging out.
Actually, I respect
Finding
that.
inner peace.
Yeah.
Negging Poe in his spare time.
Playing video games, probably. Just
Yeah,
fucking
probably.
hanging out on his phone.
It's like, come on, you idiot.
Good for him. I spun the wheel again. Landed on one of mine. This is just a little thing, but I have the little claps. Remember that time when they did little claps for her when she turned into a monster guy for the first time or something, and all her goons did like. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was cute.
Yeah.
I kind of wish they didn't all go woo, because that I think made the joke a little less fun, but I thought that was good. It's weird that she has goons that are not chameleons, but also I guess she's the only chameleon that's ever lived. I mean,
they were lizards.
They were lizard guys, yeah. That was cool.
I couldn't tell if they were supposed to be chameleons or if they were other kinds of lizards.
I mean, I feel like the whole like you can't do kung fu and be tough and cool if you're a chameleon would suggest that these guys are some other thing, like lizards.
Well, but they don't do kung fu. They got spears.
Yeah,
it's
that's
different.
true. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know what I thought they were then. Maybe I thought they were alligators, but we've had alligators in these movies before, and they don't look like that.
Yeah, they're big and beefy.
Yeah, were these iguanas? Maybe we see those.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I don't know. A cool thing about this movie or about this franchise.
I was gonna say this movie, but no, this franchise that makes more sense.
This franchise is that the only animals they use are animals that are native to China.
That makes sense.
So everything that shows up is like a real species of animal that exists in China.
Probably gonna be running out of animals then soon, because they've been using quite a few of them.
So
they have spotted lanternflies over there. Can that be the bad guy in the next one?
Yeah.
Or something?
Potentially.
You gotta get some.
I don't think they've ever done an insect person though.
Mantis, right? He's an insect.
Oh, duh! What am I, an idiot?
That could be his villain. He could get his own little spin-off where him and his wife try to kill the spotted lanternfly before it populates and destroys the whole planet, like it did to us in New Jersey. The worst.
But yeah, so there is generally in like behind the scenes stuff. They say what species every animal is supposed to be.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like looking online, like they China has a fair amount of like salamanders and stuff like that. So I have a feeling the explanations that it was one of those. Not like a salamander, but like, Chinese water dragon or something.
Salamanders are big and wet.
Yeah, that's right. They need more of that in this movie. Last thing, Spun the Wheel DJ, the greatest credit song of all time.
Let's go, baby.
Was it?
Jack Black covering Britney Spears' "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time." Come on now. Come on.
Song
now.
about getting had sex with or something or whatever that song's about.
I don't care. Like, it's so good. Like
you wouldn't have sex with Jack Black, Nando?
Yeah, what are you, better than us? I was smiling ear to ear after a very, fine movie. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. I loved it. And it had nothing to do with the movie. It was just Jack Black, I don't know, workshopping. I don't know why it was in here, but it was perfect.
So, okay, guys, fellas, here's a scenario. You're at a Hollywood party.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Black comes up to you, like offers you a drink. You guys get talking. He kind of like touches your arm a few times. At one point, he just kind of goes, he kind of gives you a look. He goes like, want to get out of here.
Mm.
You already anticipating that this might be happening have texted your partner, and they have said it's totally cool. No problems with you sleeping with Jack Black. Do you get out of there with him?
I see. I don't think I'd enjoy it, but the story would be pretty interesting. I'd like to see what his house looks like. You know, are we going to his house? Can I see all the Shallow Hal memorabilia I want afterwards? Is he one of those guys that gives a goodie bag, like some like Derek Jeter or whatever? Because I got to know what's in that goodie bag. Now, I don't know, probably not, but you know, he seems convincing. He's got a lot of charisma. Who knows?
I'm looking now.
I mean, maybe you're not saying you have to go all the way. Maybe you go there, you just do hand stuff.
I'm looking now, and apparently this is like Tenacious D. So like, it's the band. It's not just Jack Black. Because there's a music video, and KG is also in it. So this is
KG Kevin Garnett.
Yeah.
Oh, from Uncut Gems.
Anything is
classic
possible.
actor. Yeah. Oh man,
I also love
don't
that
know.
It's Tenacious D. Baby One More Time from Kung Fu Panda 4.
Well, yeah, they recorded
for no reason.
They recorded the like video for this at like the red carpet for this movie.
I'm watching it now. It's amazing.
Did you not have that ready before the movie? But I guess it's not in the movie, so it's like
this was a total surprise to me. Maybe that's why I loved it so much, because like I had no idea.
And it's better than that Peach song he did, so can't really complain.
DJ, I can't help but notice is not answering the question.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm a hard yes. Yeah.
Yeah?
Let's go.
Because of Goosebumps.
Yes. Because of Goosebumps.
You like that movie?
You be like, can I call you R.L. Stein?
Mm-hmm. Maybe like
Did
they let you
keep did they let you keep a Slappy doll? Can we make this a threesome?
Yeah.
Now that's too far. Now you've gone too far.
I do really enjoy, like, I think Jack Black is a really fun movie star and stuff. Like looking at some of his movies now, I'm like, yeah, I love that he was in that one episode of Community where they pretend he was in all the episodes of Community. That's funny. And I love Tropic Thunder, right? Like Tropic Thunder is incredible. I couldn't remember what this character's first name was, so I didn't bother. But yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Still though, I don't know if it would work for me. But again, the story, you know, how could you turn it down? Just for fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Living life is just having these experiences. So
yeah. He's in Shark Tale. You know what?
He's in Shark Tale.
Yeah,
that's true.
With Martin Scorsese.
Does that change your mind, Nando?
I mean, it isn't hurting. That's for sure. Yeah.
Martin Scorsese, a man who's won as many Oscars as the movie Suicide Squad.
Hey.
Yeah. Do we have other stuff on the wheel? I don't know. Any other stuff about that end credit thing?
No, I was going to ask, is it woke?
I mean, it's set in China, so I think it has to be yes.
The dads aren't explicitly gay, though. So
it feels heavily implied.
Yeah, but heavily implied and explicit are very different. That's how you get woke, is you have the character say it in a line of dialogue that can easily be cut out of the movie, as opposed to this.
Oh,
which is,
also,
I mean, maybe we saw that cut of the movie.
Yeah, DJ, listen, I was a foolish teenage boy once. There is an incredible amount of homoerotic subtext that you can ignore if you don't want to see it.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. The cops are bad. So like,
are they bad though?
Yeah, because she is a criminal and she is a bad guy, it turns out.
And she does have to serve her jail time at the end of the movie, which I think is crazy.
Yeah, that is funny, actually. That's really funny.
It's like, I'll see you in 2 years after your jail sentence. I'd be like, what the fuck? What?
For what? For stealing stuff as part of the plan that I was under, like, the thumb of the mobster for? Are we sending all of us to jail then? I assume I was just going to go live in the sewers with what's his name, where everyone is criminals. But you know what I will say for the wokeness of this movie? It is about a character, a nice guy from the country who goes to the big city, which is corrupt and evil. And like, it is almost an anti-woke movie in that sense.
That's a good point.
It's a really good point.
It feels like something the Daily Wire might produce, but with like, you know, Rob Schneider or something.
Oh, God.
Guys, we are forgetting Awkwafina is in the movie.
Yeah.
Does that make it woke?
DJ, she's both a woman and not a white person.
That is tough.
Well,
but the woke people not a humongous fan of her because of the accent that she does, and so is she anti-woke? Has she been so canceled that she's crossed the Rubicon back over to the Bill Maher show?
Is she Gina Carano? Right? Is that?
Yeah. Nobody's Gina Carano. She's in a category all her own.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think it's woke. I don't think this movie's woke.
I don't think so either.
It doesn't have woke feel to it. Yeah, it's not getting banned in schools. Like, oh, no Kung Fu Panda 4.
I feel like you guys are really discounting the China part of things.
Well, you know what is a woke version of this movie would look like? It's one where they recast Shifu or something to play the Chinese red panda. They get a different actor to do that besides Dustin Hoffman.
Oh, you mean
who's so expensive?
They recast everyone who plays these Chinese characters besides Lucy Liu and Jackie Chan?
Well, is Poe from a different place? I feel like Poe could be from a different place.
Poe's from a different part of China.
Maybe the Valley of Pandas.
James Hong can stay too.
And Ke Kwan, right? There's like a lot.
Well, he's new.
Okay, so not the new.
I'm talking about recasting existing.
Okay, sure.
I think Mantis gets to stay because Mantis could be from anywhere. He could be from very far. Same with Crane.
Okay,
but as I told you, all of these are specifically Chinese species of these animals.
But they could also be from elsewhere. Right?
Yeah, they were from a zoo in America or something. This is Madagascar situation, and that's why they all sound like that. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think it's woke. I know the China part, but I don't think it makes it woke.
If just having Aquafina made the movie woke, every movie would be woke. So I don't think this is enough to move the needle for me.
I mean, what movies has she been in? The Little Mermaid, that was woke.
Yeah, Ocean's 8, that was woke as fuck.
Was Renfield woke?
I don't know.
Right?
Well.
Yeah, Ocean's 8 was pretty woke, actually. Shang-Chi wasn't that woke.
Yeah, Shang-Chi's like pretty middle of the road woke.
Yeah. I'm going to say it's not. I'm going to say it's not woke. I wouldn't say it's anti-woke though. I think it's in the middle.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
She goes to jail. That's so funny though.
Yeah, right.
Serves her time.
Poe, not a prison abolitionist.
Nope. Not even for his friend who's the new Dragon Warrior. What if we need a Dragon Warrior in the meantime, Poe? Everybody else is dead or something. Wait, she gets to train at the end of the movie. Is it 2 years later?
Maybe it's a work release
program. Yeah, I was going to say it's probably that. She's probably getting paid like 5 cents a day or something to train to be a Dragon Warrior.
Well, I don't think the Dragon Warrior gets a salary. I think you just get to live in the Jade Palace and get food and board. Speaking of which, another joke that made me laugh in this movie towards the beginning when he's like, "You're going to the Valley of Peace jail." And she's like, "What is that, a daycare?" And he's like, "Yes, on the weekends."
Yeah. I forgot about that joke, but that's a good one. Yeah, this movie's good. Anything else about this one? Do you think they'll make a 5th one? I don't know if this made money. I didn't look.
They don't care.
They care a little bit.
I mean, it cost the least out of any of these, so I feel like it must have made enough money.
They're putting Shrek 2 back in theaters. They will make a Kung Fu Panda 5. Shrek
2 is incredible.
And also already exists.
Yeah.
But like the next thing they're riding on is like some fucking robot in the wild movie. Like they're fucked. They need to make
movie
a 5th
looks sick
Kung
as
Fu
hell.
Panda.
I'd rather watch that.
You're gonna be eating those dang words, DJ.
On a real quick
that robot
prediction.
in the wild movie comes out and you're like, this movie made me cry.
Oh, they made WALL-E again. Oh my god, that was 15 fucking years ago. Like, come on, get out.
That's the exact opposite of WALL-E. WALL-E lived on a trash planet. This robot lives on a natural paradise.
Yeah. Also, this one's like a girl, I think, or something.
Not clear. Maybe it's non-binary because the movie's woke.
Well, it's a robot. It has to be binary to some extent, right? Like, that's just one of the rules of robots. That would be a joke. That is how we'll know the movie is woke. That robot says that. But I looked it up. This movie made $58 million last weekend. That's okay. Like, it can't have cost more than, I don't know, $150 million. What do you think the budget was on this?
57 liters.
Yeah.
I think I saw that it cost $80 million.
Yeah, $85 million according to this. So that's okay.
Most of its budget in a weekend.
Yeah, and I don't know.
Kids' movies tend to have long tails because parents need something to distract their kids with.
And I don't know if this opened overseas yet, but I imagine they're expecting it to probably make some money overseas.
these usually do well in China because they actually do put some care and attention into the like Chinese flora and the Chinese flora and doing like good kung fu.
Yeah, they'll probably be psyched to see Jackie Chan in this movie, Chinese superstar or whatever. And then he's this is the Madam Web walks by a picture of Spider-Man for the trailer. They just show all the Dragon Warriors and then they're all gone. All right, you guys want to get to our classic segment?
Let's do it.
I would love that.
So, yes, I have one thing to rec. I've been teasing this recommendation for a few weeks, but I'm finally ready to unveil it.
Ooh.
I'm recommending Frosthaven, a game I've been playing that came out a while ago. It's fun. So what this is it's the follow-up to Gloomhaven. It's not a sequel. It takes place in like the Gloomhaven universe, but it's a completely different game. Unlike Jaws of the Lion, which is a direct Gloomhaven sequel. So for those who don't know what Gloomhaven is, it is a cooperative dungeon crawler game style. We play a certain character, have certain moves, you got to use them to complete some objective. What Frosthaven adds is a lot of mechanics in the kind of in-between dungeon crawling adventures. So Gloomhaven, more or less, you're going from like dungeon to dungeon to dungeon. There's a narrative around it, but it's more or less a dungeon crawl. In Frosthaven, you have like your base at Frosthaven that you have to take care of and build buildings, and you craft potions and you maintain the militia. And there's so many mechanics. It's amazing. They took like a great game and like made it better. I know people still think like Gloomhaven is like better because it's leaner, but I like everything that Frosthaven adds. I also think the story is more compelling and it does a lot of things to make you care more. Whereas Gloomhaven is kind of a bunch of stitched together dungeons that you play where the core game mechanics are good. The story's kind of weak. This, they improved the story so much. And it's a lot cleaner. I think it's really good. It's expensive, and you kind of like need a group of people as part of the buy-in, I think. But like at the end of the day, I think it's a very good game.
What's expensive? What are we talking? Over 100?
It's like, it might be like 140.
Oof.
Yeah. It's oh my God, it's 190. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Like I kickstarted it. I can't remember, like maybe 150, but yeah, it's really expensive. And it's tough, right? Because like if you wanted a much lower barrier to entry, and I've recommended this before, there's like a Gloomhaven video game you can buy on Steam. And that has like all the mechanics and stuff, right? Of just Gloomhaven. And then if you like loved that, like, would you want to play the Frosthaven board game? It's like, it's a different experience. It's more communal because you're sitting at a table playing with people, and the discussions of what to do is like very interesting. But I know it's like a really tough sell. But like if you played Gloomhaven, and I mean, you probably knew about Frosthaven, but if you didn't, but weren't sure, like I'm hard yes on Frosthaven. Because I think it just adds so much to an already great game. But that, I know it's super tough. I'm asking you do anything. It's like you're like, what? This game's so expensive. But like split it 4 ways, play with 4 people, and then it's a lot more tolerable. And you know, I just think it's a great experience. So yeah, I wanted to get through enough of it before recommending it, but I feel like I've done that at this point. So I am recommending Frosthaven by Cephalofair Games. This is like Google Frosthaven, and then that'd probably be a good way to go about it. So that's my recommendation. Diggins, what about you?
I feel like DJ is going to come back with a different tune when his next Gloomhaven game takes him to the caverns of penis extraction.
How dare you?
Nice.
How dare you?
So for me, I believe last week Nando recommended a Dropout show by the name of Very Important People. Which I also enjoy, but I'm recommending a different Dropout show now that I've been going. It's existed for a couple of years now, but I've just started going through the backlog because I was bored. I've been watching Dirty Laundry.
Oh yeah, that's fun. I like Dirty Laundry.
It's a fun one. I mean, it's basically comedians playing Never Have I Ever.
Yeah.
More or less. Like that's the vibe, at least. But you know, that's like a fun thing. So it's basically just a bunch. Each episode is hosted by Lillian Grant. Grant O'Brien from as of True Facts About Grant Anthony O'Brien.
Grant 50 O'Brien. Yeah. Grant I think he's gonna play the new Superman. I think that's what
that's what he says.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
He, you might have seen the true facts about Grant Anthony O'Brien breaking news is because they kind of broke containment and got very popular because he has done some really outrageous things in his life, which is why he's such a good co-host for this show, because every once in a while the secrets are his.
Yeah.
You get to find out more insane things he's done.
Do you think he goes out and does insane things? He's like, we need something. We've mined the well dry. Let me go, I'm going to try to eat a fire hydrant or something, and that'll be a good story. But I don't know. It's
hard to say how much is natural and how much is leaning into the personality.
Yeah.
But yeah. It's basically just the people submit secrets ahead of time about them. They get read out and everyone has to guess whose secret it is. And then once it's revealed whose it is, they tell the story about how that came about. It makes you realize how boring your life is. But it's fun. It's been a good like time waster for me to like have on while I'm doing other stuff. So I've been enjoying that a lot and didn't do much else. I did watch the movie Maestro.
And
that is how that goes.
Nando, what's your recommendation?
Nice. I got a couple quick ones. Invincible's back. I watched the first episode of that. It was great. It's apparently a very memorable thing from the comics that I did not know happened. So that was exciting. There's only 4 episodes coming up, so take your time with them, I guess. Watch it in 10-minute segments so that you can make it last. Because
Quibi it.
Yeah, Quibi it, because it'll be over before you know it. But that show's always great. I watched some of a movie called Ricky Stinicky this weekend. It's where John Cena is like a little weirdo, and then some friends hire him because they have a fake friend named Ricky Stinicky that they blame everything bad on. And then their wives are like, "Where's Ricky Stinicky?" And then they're like, "Oh shit, we need somebody for this." So it's funny because he's like a funny guy. I didn't really like it that much. It's weird. He was good in it though. John Cena's like, he's funny, and I liked him in it. I just think it's a strange movie.
Zac Efron's there.
Yeah, Zac Efron's there, but he's not playing a wrestler, but he still looks like a wrestler, and it's like, well, this is weird. He doesn't take his shirt off that much, but it's like, man, I don't know. I can't see him as not that humongous man from what's that movie he just did? High School Musical 3. Oh, Iron Claw, yeah.
Oh, duh.
Yeah. And then I watched the first episode of that show, The Gentleman, the one that's like the Guy Ritchie movie, but a show with the guy from White Lotus. And it's okay. We weren't like, oh my God, we got to keep watching The Gentleman, but it wasn't.
Is it connected to that movie that's coming out?
Like, I saw the movie because the movie came out in like 2019. I saw it before COVID. No, it came out in 2020. And I don't remember a single thing that happens in it. I couldn't even name 5 actors in it. No, that's not true. Colin Farrell's in it, and he's good. Hugh Grant is in it. Charlie Hunnam. And then I'm going to take a wild guess because Guy Ritchie movie, Vinnie Jones, Jason Statham. But I don't remember that for sure. So I could be wrong about those last 2.
I'm confusing this with the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
That looks fun. Yeah. But no, maybe it'll be connected to that too. But it's mostly just a movie about a guy who's navigating, like every Guy Ritchie movie, the criminal underworld of London. There's a lot of colorful characters and stuff. But I enjoy it. I don't know if I'll finish it because there's only one show I love this time of year, and it's a Halo show. Still great. Mm-hmm. Halo update is positive as always. I don't know what to say besides it's a show I enjoy.
Still thinks that we're gullible idiots who will fall for whatever slop he feeds us.
I want to hear from people that have watched the show. Like, I can't be alone here, but sorry, I was just thinking about Ricky Stinicky. I can't be alone here. Like, this has to be a popular thing but like, I don't know. Is it popular? Is this like Rebel Moon where everybody's watched it and no one has seen it? Like, but I don't know. Maybe. I would say it's pretty good though. I would recommend it to people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've heard, Nando, but if Rebel Moon was released in theaters, it would have made $6 billion.
Yeah, I think it would have had the GDP of like Sweden or something, but it didn't because they put it on Netflix instead, where money doesn't count. And so that's their mistake. They've got another Rebel Moon coming out though, Zach. If you want to test that theory, put it in theaters and we'll see how it goes. You're not done with these. There's even the R-rated one that's like 45 extra minutes of R-rated Rebel nonsense. We got to do that one of these days.
We started leading up to the second one, right? We were gonna.
Yeah, when does it come out? It's gonna be soon.
I think it's this year.
Yeah,
I think it's like in a month.
I think it's a May. Oh, April 19th. Okay.
Yeah.
The Scar Giver.
Can't wait.
I can't either. I'm so excited. I've seen the first one, so I know what we're in for, and it's something. I can't wait to see what you guys think. What are we doing next week, by the way? Oh wait, real quick, let's all say our recs again. But I have them written down. DJ
Frosthaven by Cephalofair Games.
Diggins.
Dirty Laundry on dropout.com.
And not Maestro. I'll just put that in quotes.
Specifically did not recommend Maestro.
And not Maestro. And then for me, it was The Gentleman Show in ascending order. Ricky Stenicki, The Gentleman Show, Invincible, and of course Halo. Yeah. What are we doing next week? What comes out?
The American Society of Magical Negroes.
Oh my God, I can't believe that movie is coming out. I can't tell if people think it's actually genius or really bad.
Well, it's got a 34% on Rotten Tomatoes. So
that's not good.
That's not good, but also.
But that might. There's two things that could mean.
Yeah.
That could mean it's too boundary pushing and avant-garde for your average reviewer, or it could mean it's a real swing and a miss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wait, is this week Godzilla? Does this come out soon?
No. There's no big blockbuster this week.
Oh.
There's no Godzilla or Ghostbusters?
Get Out. No, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no, Get Out came out years ago.
Oh, we should do that, though. That was pretty good. I think that could be our nitpicking. It's just like, I don't think white people would do this. We're just so, trustworthy.
I think white people are good. Yeah. What's wrong with wanting to vote for Obama a third time?
I'd love to vote for Obama a third time. Well, I don't know about love to, but I would definitely take it.
Yeah, right. Like,
yeah.
Can we actually run the tires on that?
That's what I'm saying. Put a mustache and a hat on him and just pretend he's somebody else. We'll all know, but no one will say it. And the conspiracy theory, I'm surprised that conspiracy theory isn't already true. Like, it's not even Joe Biden. That's Barack Obama in a Joe Biden suit or something. So, yeah, what do we do next week? Oh, you know what we could do? We could do a movie I get to pick because I won the Fantasy Oscars pool. Or not Oscars pool, the other fantasy awards thing.
The Fantasy Movies League, because you had the foresight to put Oppenheimer and Poor Things in your bracket. Two picks that basically ballooned they're not brackets. I don't know why I said bracket. Basically ballooned you to the top at the very end.
And American Fiction was also helpful for me. Speaking of,
so surprise movie by Nando will be next week's.
Yeah, I have a movie, but we won't say it yet because I don't think anybody wants to watch this movie. But
I have a feeling I can guess, but I'm not going to guess until we're off mic.
Okay. DJ, do you have anything to plug?
Well, I do, but before that, speaking of things that you could win, it is time for our March Madness bracket, baby. Woo!
Whoa!
This goes up before Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if you're listening to this, go to the Discord or Twitter, where both will be posted. Or I think you could search Mostly Nitpicking.
Yeah.
Go to the Discord. Go to the Nando V Movies Discord and find the Mostly Nitpicking channel. That is the straightest line. Or Twitter. You can go to our Twitter at Mostly Nitpicking. It'll be there too. But for those who don't know,
unless I forget.
No, you could put on there. We do a March Madness style bracket, men's and women's. You get two brackets. Winner gets to pick a movie. I think the last year's winner was Why We Did Percy Jackson, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then the women's bracket winner never came forward.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. What if you're a person and the thing? Yeah.
Please put the name of the movie you want to do in the title in case you fall off the face of the earth. Then we just do that. So it's just and this will all be in the instructions on the Discord, Twitter, whatever. But yeah, the name of the movie you want to win, make that your team name.
Yeah.
It'll make our lives so much easier.
And we won't. The ones we're not doing again are Batman and Entourage again. Those are the only two examples that will not be accepted. But
so yes. Yeah. So very excited for that. As far as my plug, check out Roses and Rejections, where we covered Love Is Blind, finale reunion, wrapping up with the Bachelor season, which has been very interesting. I think the Bachelor might get rejected.
By who? The law?
No,
he's gonna get deported.
He's gonna be like that one time they had to cancel that one reality show because it turns out the guy did a murder.
Yes. I know what you're talking about, but I've heard this story a bunch of times. I don't know all the details, but yeah.
I think he might propose and the woman might say no. I think that might happen.
That's an option?
No. Yes, of course.
I guess, yeah. Well, like, of course, she technically could, but like, you figure by that point, you kind of know. But then, to be fair, Love is Blind is also a show. And that one, what an incredible track record of yeses this year. We were so close to the doomsday scenario. I think we'll get it next year. If only that one guy
could have his phone, then it would have been fine.
Only, yeah, he's. I mean, I haven't watched the finale, but I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Give him his phone. Give that guy his phone.
Yeah.
Diggins, do you have anything to plug?
Just real quick, I was on the Oscars Way Too Early Oscars podcast for their post Oscars wrap up. By which point I would say probably not too early anymore, but
yeah,
regardless. Because I was so cool and smart and did the best in the Oscars pool at Pop Break, I got to be on the wrap-up podcast, so you can check that out on the Pop Break podcast feed. What about you, Nando?
I was also on one of their podcasts, but I was on the 200th Breakcast, where we did a draft of Marvel characters, including Marvel's Katie, which was what she was named in the draft, to create your ideal Avengers team. And it was fun. There were like a bunch of us, so we all had very different teams, including someone who just kept accidentally drafting Sexiest Men Alive. So like 5 seconds in, they had like Paul Rudd, Bradley Cooper. Who's the other one? I can't remember, but it's pretty funny.
That's great. And you just had Marvel's Katie 5 times.
I did end up with Marvel's Katie, so that is true. But you could only pick her once. I would have voted for Katie a third time if they let me, but I couldn't. But yeah, it's funny because the person who was just picking Sexiest Men Alive strategy was just pick actors I know, because I've seen 5 of these movies, and those happen to be like the big, the superstars. But anyway, yeah, that was fun. So that's called the Socially Distanced Podcast, the Pop Break feed, all that stuff. Besides that, I have a couple new videos. I'll have one probably out soon about the new, like my In Defense of the DCEU Part 2, which is the James Gunn years. And then after that, I'll have one it'll be on Nebula, which will be the Part 3, which is like Black Adam forward. I don't even know what to call it, but whatever that was. And then I had at least one, I don't know how long it's been since we did the last one, but at least one new Marvel Snap Lore video on Mockingbird, a character that is shockingly complicated. Like, her backstory is unbelievable.
I watched that one. That was nuts.
Yeah, like, it's just like, you're like, oh, what's this? She has a stick and she can do backflips and she's a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, right? Nope. She went back in time and the ghost got her, and then, yeah, it's wild. But yeah, so those are on the Nando Cut, which is my second channel.
I hate when I go back in time and the ghosts get me.
Listen, it seems awful. She didn't like it, and it only caused that ghost became her Joker, so it was pretty significant. The last thing I want is the ghost to follow me. Could have, maybe, I don't know. There'll be time. If they ever make another Mockingbird comic, I'm sure he'll be back, and then maybe that'll be the deal. So yeah, next week a mystery movie, and then until then, I've been at Nando V Movies on Twitter.
I'm at Zippy by Day.
I'm at This Is an Odd Name.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.